So welcome in. A lot of work to do, actually. A pretty good weekend of sales. We had 12 sales on Saturday. Wait for it. 12 sales on Saturday, 14 on Sunday, and then 4 so far today. And actually, another one just came in right before we went live too. And that was a bundle sale. So 6 sales already today. So I'm happy with the weekend. I had a slow second week of January, and then last week was definitely a better week. It wasn't a great week, but it was definitely a step up from 2 weeks ago. And a great weekend. I mean, honestly, I'll take in the middle of January. I'll take 12 sales on Saturday and 14 sales on Sunday anytime. Hope everybody's safe. Hope everybody is warm. An interesting weekend across most of the country. A lot of people waking up to snow and ice and all kinds of stuff. We woke up to crazy winds and a little bit of ice, but we fared really, really well in the storm. We're really grateful. We're really fortunate that things didn't turn out a little bit worse for us. So, but I know some other folks weren't so lucky. What's up, Tej? How are you? Tej says eBay first. We'll start with eBay at your request, Tej. Hope y'all are doing well. All my best to you and the fam. But we got eBay orders, we got Poshmark orders, and we got chris@peak.com orders. We don't have any Amazon or Mercari this weekend, but still a strong weekend. I'm happy with it. I hope you had a good weekend too. Hopefully things are good at your home front. I'd love to hear if you got the storm, let me know what you got. Like if you got snow, let me know how many inches you got. If you got ice, just give me some details down below. I know, gosh, it was something like 30 something states were impacted by the storm or are currently still getting impacted. I think maybe the Northeast is still getting some of this. So what's up, Thrifting Grammy? How are you? Kelsey, hope you're doing well up there in Boone. Kelsey, I don't think did y'all get snow up there? I think you got different weather than we got down here. Code red. We are buried in a code red, stuck at home, and I love it. There you go. What are you doing with your home time? Thank you, Tej. Appreciate that. Is it flannel season? Of course it is, T. Georgie. It's probably flannel season for like 11 months of the year for you guys up there, right? She said about 6 inches. Oh my goodness, Travis George. T. Georgie's in the house. Good morning, piece of scrap. Southern Indiana got 12 to 13 inches of pure snow fluff. So that good fluffy snow, that's cool. 14 inches in Southern Rhode Island. That's a lot of snow. 2 inches of snow and some crunch. Gotcha, Kelsey. We are really windy. It's actually just calmed down like over the last 15 minutes. I feel like the wind, well, maybe not. I take that back. It's still pretty windy out there, but we've had like 30, almost 40 mile an hour gusts that really started about 6 o'clock. But we got really, really lucky. It warmed up yesterday in the afternoon. So I'll give you the whole timeline, and then we'll get into some sales and stuff. We'll get into business. I'm in Disney, so I don't know what's going on in North Bertle. I hope you're enjoying your time in Disney. That sounds like a fun place to be this time of year. I think a lot of people would trade with you to be in Orlando right now instead of where buried in their snow or whatever. Although some people like snow too, right? Safe here in sunny California. Stay safe, y'all. Appreciate that. 707 Treasures, welcome in. Just low temps, no snow yet. Chemo is in the house. Did y'all get this storm down there? I know some of Texas got this storm. Did you get that down in the Houston area, Chemo? Greenville, South Carolina, ice only. Bought a new generator and didn't even lose power. Win-win. That's what happens. You bought the generator, so therefore you didn't lose power. We didn't lose power either. Had the generator hooked up. We actually still have it hooked up because there is still a chance that we lose power today. And by the way, if this stream goes down, I'll do my best to get the stream back up. Like if the power flashes and our power, internet goes out for a minute, I'll do my best to get it back up. So just bear with me. It might take me a couple minutes to get the live back up if it goes down, if we do lose power or if it flashes. I'll just try to switch it over to my cell phone and kind of stream through that and see if that works. So if it goes out, I'm going to try to get back. So just give me a couple of minutes to get back if that happens. I'm glad that you're enjoying the coffee, Andre. I appreciate you sharing that too. And I'll drop the link right now if anyone wants to check out our coffee, which is right behind me. Fair trade organic coffee. I'm going to drop the link down below in the chat right now. If you're on Instagram, I can't drop the link over there, but you can just go to my profile and find the coffee website. If you have questions about coffee, let me know too. But Andre, I appreciate you buying some coffee, and I appreciate you sharing that you're enjoying it. That's music to my ears. You'll have more snow than we do in Wyoming. Stay safe. Piece of scrap. We got no snow here. The real Chris, what's up? Stuart the man is in the house. What's up, Stuart? Hope you're doing well, bud. Welcome back. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, sorry I missed you the last couple of weeks. Monday I was on the road all day, so I couldn't do a live Monday of 2 weeks ago. And then last week I was kind of like right in the middle of this cold that's still lingering now, but like last Monday, I couldn't even talk. So it would have been a really strange live. I would have had to do like a silent packing live, but I was like couch bound last Monday. Just the coldness. Gotcha. I'm here in Miami and it's hot and it's the 80s. There you go, Andre. I like it. Enjoy your thrift videos. Thanks, Chris, for being here. If it's your first time jumping into a live, no, Chris, I've seen you in I've seen you in lives before. Never mind, I take that back. But if this is your first time joining one of these lives, please let me know down below in the chat. I do them every Monday. I just haven't done them the last Monday because of reasons. I was on the road 2 weeks ago, and last week, man, I was down and out last Monday. I still have this cold. You can probably hear a little bit of the Kermit voice coming through, a little bit of nasally, but I'd say I'm probably like, I don't know, 90% back right now. But last week, Monday, I was like 10%. I was a mess. Everything shut down in Northwest Ohio. Glad to hear you're okay. We got really, really lucky, Brenda. And that's why I put out all those stories. If you haven't seen, if you care about like what's happened over the last 24 hours here in Fletcher, North Carolina, I posted a bunch of stories on Instagram and on Facebook if you want to watch those stories and see. But I was convinced, and the forecast was really bad, I was convinced that we were going to get over an inch of ice. They were saying maybe close to 1.5 inches of ice. And then we were going to get this wind that is here now. But it turns out, so here's the play-by-play. We woke up yesterday morning to about somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 inch of ice from freezing rain that happened overnight. It continued to freeze, like lightly freezing rain, until about like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then it just got warm enough. Like it got a couple of degrees warmer than they thought. So the freezing rain turned into regular rain. And then it dumped. We just got really, really hard rain. But that hard rain actually got rid of some of the ice. Like it got rid of all the ice that was on the roads. It knocked off a lot of the ice that was on the power lines, which was great. And then even some like the tree ice was started to like melt and fall off and stuff, which is really good. We got lucky, and it just never got cold enough again to refreeze. Yeah, so we woke up to dry roads. There's still like ice on all the grass and like, you know, the driveway, and there's still ice on like the roofs and all that stuff, and there's still some ice on the trees. But we got really, really lucky, because if we had a little bit more ice yesterday, even if we didn't get to 1.5 inches, if we got to more like 1 inch of ice when this wind came through starting at 6 o'clock this morning, it would have knocked off all the branches. I mean, we were getting almost 40-mile-an-hour gusts. So, but we're great. We got really lucky. We're grateful that we got some warm, just a couple degrees warm enough so it stopped freezing rain and turned into regular rain. And that was enough. That was the difference. The last 4 hours of rain was just actual rain and not freezing rain. So we got really, really lucky. It is freezing cold outside and windy as all get out. We're going to get close to zero, I think, single digits tonight too. So again, if this was all ice, today would be a lot different. We would definitely be without power. We probably would have big limbs and trees down, maybe some on our house and our car. I mean, if you've seen some of the videos from Nashville, Tennessee, or from Louisiana, where the pine trees were literally breaking off at the top because the pine trees with their pine needles holding all that water and ice, all that weight just falling down. We thought that was coming our way, and but we got really lucky. So I'm grateful for that, and I hope everybody's safe out there too. We got hit pretty hard in Virginia, but things are clearing up. I'm glad to hear things are clearing up. Kelly, hope you're well. Hey, sorry, don't know who you are. Facebook told me that you needed me. I've never seen you before. River, I don't know what to tell you. Larry, what's up? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well, Larry. No snow, but we just can't with this weather here in Texas. Everything is shut down. Where in Texas are you, Ashley? That's wild. I'm guessing you got no snow, but we just can't with this weather here in Texas. Everything is shut down. Would you get ice? Is that what you got down there? Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're doing well. We're going to ship out some orders here in a second. I know you should know this, but I know I should know this, but what is your favorite coffee? That's like asking me who my favorite child is. My favorite coffee, they're all my favorite, and we drink all of them, but we drink the medium roast most frequently. Our Hooper's Creek medium roast. It's got a hint of milk chocolate, just a hint of spice to it too, but it's a very smooth, very balanced. It's a great daily driver type of coffee. So we drink it, I'd say 80% of the time, and then we drink our other 2 coffees, our dark roast and our light roast. Although we have been drinking more dark roast recently. I don't know, when it's cold, I want like a richer, bolder coffee. So we've had a bunch of cold weather. We've had a cold winter here in Nashville. So we have been drinking a little bit more dark roast recently. But today I had the medium roast as usual. Hello, I am from Malaysia. Welcome in, Gems. Appreciate you being here. In Pickens, South Carolina, no power, but we're okay. Hopefully get some power back on. Do you have a generator, Anna? Storm was good for sales for me. January was very slow until now. Glad, hey, whatever it takes to get a little bump, Lou. Lou, appreciate all your support on all the videos. Appreciate all your comments and thoughts. I don't take that stuff for granted. So thank you, brother. Chad, is he reading Facebook comments, or which platform is he reading comments from? All them. Reading from all them. What's up, Fredo? How are you? We had all ice. Happy Monday. What's up, Footballogy? Hope you're well. Appreciate all your support too. Ashley is in the house. Houston. Gotcha. So you got stuff down in Houston. Let me put this back together. So you got ice down there, maybe? Nashville looks like a war zone here. Blessed to still have power, still at risk of losing it. Gosh, are you still getting, I'm sorry that you're experiencing that, Charlene. Charlene sent me a message yesterday and said that things were pretty bad out there. I did see some videos from the Nashville area of some creators that I follow that were out in Nashville. And boy, some of that tree falling stuff, like the pine trees just snapping off and all that, that was like some crazy stuff out there. So glad to hear you're okay, Charlene, and hopefully your neighbors and friends and loved ones down there will get back up on their feet. That looked pretty messy out there. I'm in Tennessee and the streets are all iced over. Everything is shut down, cold temperatures. Gotcha. Sending positive vibes and prayers your way to you and your people, Brenda. A little ice overnight. Gotcha. Cool. The coffee is good. Thanks, Travis. Appreciate you, buddy. Still no snow for us in Oregon, which is wild this late in the season. Oh, wow. Where in Oregon are you that you've had no snow? Crazy cold last week in the 20s. It's going to be a dry summer. I hope everyone is doing okay. Well, thanks for the positive vibes and the update there, Kimberly. Yeah, of course, out in the West, right, you're always worried about wildfire season and drought season in the summertime. So hopefully you do get some snow so that you can, have some runoff and all that stuff to not have a droughty spring and summer. Fredo, you inspired me to start picking up blazers. I saw your recent blazer video. Any additional blazer videos coming up? Thank you, man. You to go. Appreciate that, Fredo. Honestly, the way that I've always done my content is I just sort of share content as it happens. So that YouTube blazer video, which is, I really enjoyed making that video. That was a rarity for me where I actually went out and I was like, all right, I want to go find a blazer at a thrift store and make a video about it for YouTube. So that was a rarity. But typically what I do is just thought if I find blazers, I'll make videos about them. I just kind of take what the world gives me, I guess, if that makes sense. And that's how I've done the content for really the whole 5 years I've been doing this. So thank you for the nifty link up, Chris. Nice, Michaela. Did you get up and started with Nifty? Are you liking it? You feeling it? You inspired me to start my own social media account to document my reselling. I'm trying to put out daily reels. I like it, man. That's awesome. Or, geez, I just said man, but I like it. I can't see. All I know is that you're going twice flips. That could be man, woman, or whatever. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. Happy that I can be a little bit of inspiration for you. Let's ship some orders out. I think I just got a coffee order. So, T. Georgie, thank you, brother. So you know the rules. Whenever somebody puts in a coffee order, we're going to go ahead and ship out that coffee order. Stop what I'm doing, stop flapping my gums, and jump into the order. So actually, we got an order going up to Travis George. We got 2 bags of our medium roast. This is our Hooper's Creek medium roast. So 2 bags. All our coffee comes in whole bean or ground. Travis, we got some whole bean going out your way. Thank you. Travis is one of my best coffee customers. Been supporting our coffee since we launched 2.5 years ago with the business. Travis has always been there with coffee orders. So happy to ship this out to you, Travis. Thank you, brother. If you have any questions about coffee, or if you're looking for a recommendation of which coffee to try, if you haven't tried the coffee yet, let me know. I'm going to drop a direct link to my coffee website where you can read about the coffees, and ask questions. But if you want a recommendation, just let me know what you currently drink now. Like, let me know like what brand and what roast. And then based on that, I can make a recommendation of what I think you should try here. But generally speaking, I encourage people to start with our medium roast. It is a crowd pleaser. It's just a very balanced, neutral, smooth cup of coffee that won't offend anybody. So if you're not sure what to try, I always say, go with that. But if you're looking for a recommendation, something more specific, just let me know what you drink now. Where did I put those bags? So thank you, Travis. We'll get this out to you. You're going to get a shipping confirmation here in just a moment. The medium roast is Kim and I's favorite. It's actually our favorite coffee of all time. We specifically partnered with our roasting partner, Dynamite Coffee in Black Mountain, North Carolina. We partnered with them because that was our favorite coffee. That's the coffee that we bought and drank every day. So when it was time we wanted to look into starting our own coffee thing and partner with a roaster, they were the first ones we reached out to, and we were grateful. Like, we were so shocked actually that they said yes and wanted to work with us and had a program. So we're grateful for that, to be able to now sell our favorite freaking coffee from our favorite roaster and put our name on it, which is really cool. So really proud of that partnership and really grateful for it. All right, let's get this order out for Mr. Georgie. You're going to get a shipping confirmation here in 1 sec, bub. Northeastern, it's going to be a wild and hot summer. We normally start getting snow in October. I'll have to check out your coffee. Well, thank you, Kimberly. How do you know it's going to be a wild and hot summer? It's still January. Are you how do you have that kind of insight? I'm curious. Good morning, sir. I just received an order labeled return to sender. Any recommendations on how to proceed? Help the buyer. I think they had an old address when they placed it. I recently received an order labeled return to sender. So I'm guessing that you're the seller. What platform are we on? I'll just assume that you sold it on eBay. So if you're the seller, I'll make that assumption. I'll assume that you sold it on eBay and the item is being returned back to you as the seller. So what I would tell that customer, I would just tell them hey, it's getting returned back to me. If you would like to repurchase the item or repurchase another shipping label, that they can send you payment via PayPal or Venmo or something like that. Or you can just refund the order and just start over with a new order and have them put their proper address in. So those are the two options. Either have them pay you for a new label or just refund them for the transaction and then open a new transaction. I wouldn't refund them the original shipping, by the way. That's on them for having the wrong shipping address on there. But I'm an eBay seller. Nice. It's SX. Appreciate you being here. I drink a Nescafe dark roast. Which one would you recommend? I'm open to getting a bag, man. Thank you. Well, appreciate that, Fredo. So Nescafe dark roast, I would go with our Black Mountain dark roast. So this is going to be different than that Nescafe dark roast is going to be a little bit different than this one, but I think you're going to like this one maybe even better. I think probably even better. So this is a blend of 3 different beans. All 3 are from Honduras, and it's going to have this nice creamy body. It's going to have a little roastiness to it, but not much roastiness. Most dark roasts are like roast, just dark. This is not like that. Very balanced, very smooth. That's because it's got that blend of 3 different beans. And it even has a little hint of jammy fruit, especially as your cup will cool a little bit. You might even get just a little bit of jammy fruit in there too, but really balanced. It's more on the medium side of the spectrum when you're looking at coffees, right? You can actually have light, medium, medium dark, and then dark. And you can even break it down further than this. This is more of a medium dark. So still very, very smooth, but you'll get a little bit of roastiness, a little bit of dark chocolate, and just a really creamy body. It's an interesting cup of coffee. I really love it. Do you get a lot of ice there? Donna, yeah, we got about 1/3 of an inch of ice or so, and then it started raining. It warmed up and we started getting regular rain, and it really saved us from what was looking like it was going to be a disaster. So we're really grateful for that. I already kind of rehashed it with everybody in the live here. I gave a deeper story, but to save everybody the repeat of the story, I'd be yep, we did get ice, and then it got warm, and then we got really, really lucky. Now it's just sort of windy and cold right now, but we were grateful for that way things turned out. You got it, Josh. You got it, brother. I'm working in stock model. Okay, a stock mode. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but thanks for being here. It's SX. When the winter is dry, we normally get really hot in the summer. Gotcha. The snowpack in the mountains is really low. We've had some awful fires. Fingers crossed. Gotcha. Kimberly, fingers crossed for sure. Hopefully you get some snow still. It's still early in the season, right? I know oftentimes when I spend time out in Utah and in Colorado in the wintertime, we lived in Denver for 2 years. Sometimes the snow really doesn't even get started until this time of year, like, February and even into March, and get a lot of snowfall even in April sometimes too. So hopefully you get some of that late snow. Do you sell only ground coffee? Ground or whole bean, Erica? And the link to the website is right there. Both ground and whole bean, your choice. We have 3 different coffees. They're all fair trade. They're all organic as well. And our medium roast and our light roast are both single origin coffees, meaning they come from one farm or one cooperative of farms. That's what single origin means, rather than being a blend of beans. The dark roast is a blend, though. Good morning. What's brewing? Frenchie's in the house. I had medium roast this morning, if that's what you're asking. That's what's brewing. We're getting an order shipped out to Travis George right now. Got to get a handwritten thank you card from Mr. Travis. Shipping coffee out to Michigan. Travis, you got a shipping confirmation in your inbox with the tracking information right now. And then we're going to jump in. Tej told us to do eBay orders first, but as you know, anytime somebody places a coffee order while we're live, I stop what I'm doing and I get that order right out for that person. So with a big dose of gratitude. So thank you, Travis. And you got a shipping confirmation in your inbox, dude. This is actually, like, over the years, we have sold probably like somewhere around 50%. Nah, maybe that's a little high. I would say maybe about 30% of our coffee sales actually happen while we're live or from people watching the replays of these live streams too. So you are our core customer by being here in the live and buying coffee and getting it shipped out right here on the live, faster than Bezos. Amazon can't keep up with this. Roasted fresh every Thursday, delivered to your front door with love. Thanks, Travis. Appreciate you, bud. All right, let's get into some eBay orders. We got a lot of work to do. And of course, at any point in time, you can jump in and get a coffee order here at the website that is linked right there in the chat. And I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll get your order shipped right out for you. And if I don't get the notification, just let me know down below in the chat. Be like, hey, I just bought coffee. Ship it out, will you? I am service eBay account handling. Gotcha. If you're looking to like give me a sales pitch about like that sort of stuff, it's SX. I'm not interested in that. I handle all my own account stuff, and I'm not interested in having somebody else handle it. So if that's what you're messaging about, then I'm good. But I appreciate you thinking of me. All right. So first order on eBay. Well, I got to print out my shipping labels here first. That would help, right? I do appreciate the hustle, like people coming into the live stream, making sales pitches and stuff. I like a hustler. I like somebody who's hungry, who wants business and ain't afraid to ask for it. I think that's cool. But I'm also a pretty straightforward person when it comes to salespeople. And if I don't want something, I'm just going to tell you, I don't want something. Don't bother with the pitch. I can remember, I worked, for those of you who don't know, I worked in the restaurant business for more than a decade. Mostly managing restaurants over the years, and you always get salespeople coming into the restaurant. They tend to come. They oftentimes will come like right into the the back door into the kitchen, and everybody's selling something. And it's just I used to work with a chef Dennis, and he would as soon as he smelled the salesperson coming, he'd be like, "Get out of here! I'm done. I'm not listening to any sales pitches. I'm working. Get out." Right out the door that you came into. And he used to kill me. He used to treat salespeople. He would just get out of here. I don't have time for you. Because you got to understand, these people come in constantly looking to sales pitch. So I can remember Dennis just boot these guys out. It was always good for a laugh. I tend to be a little bit more chill with the giving people the boot over the years, but there was nothing chill about Dennis's boot, and it was always funny. He was just such a funny character. Some people are just like that, just the way they carry themselves with everything is just so funny. Our first sale is a Duluth trading shirt. I paid $5 for this at a thrift store. I don't pick up everything from Duluth, but this one right here is more of a fishing style, as you can see. Well, maybe you can see, I don't know. It's got like a ripstop fabric, like a polyester blend. It's vented, 100% polyester, 35% Cool Plus polyester. So like a specifically built for like hiking, fishing, outdoors. That stuff from like brands like Duluth and LL Bean, some of the Cabela's even, I do pick up some of that stuff. Like something that somebody's going to wear as a piece of gear rather than like wearing this to the office, right? They're going to wear this like out, and people will spend good money for this kind of stuff. Now, this didn't sell for a lot of money, $18.99. I paid $5 for it, but we still made a little bit of profit and had fun doing it. So we're going to ship this out. My shipping labels are printed through eBay using eBay. They get a discount on shipping labels. So I'm going to print all these labels through eBay. And then when we switch over to Poshmark, all those labels are printed through Poshmark too. So nice and easy. This one, to give you an idea, is going to be $5.78 to ship. The buyer paid $18.99 plus they paid $6.95 for the shipping label. So I actually made $1 off of shipping on this one too. Probably sitting at about a $12 profit on this item right here after fees and after shipping and all that stuff. So that one's out the door. First sale on eBay. I think I just got a coffee order. I think so. Thank you if I did. I just got a notification, it looks like. What do we got here? Thank you. Tej is in the house with an order. I appreciate this. What do we got? 3 bags of whole bean. Tej, I got 2 bags left of the whole bean Hooper's Creek. I got 2 bags left after Travis's order. I'll get another shipment on Thursday, so I can ship out all 3 bags on Thursday. Or if you want to mix it up and do like 1 bag of ground, because it's so fresh, you can if you use this one first and then grind the beans, or I can do a dark roast or a light roast in the whole bean too. So you let me know what your preference is, and I'll get you shipped out. Just got started on Depop. Any advice? Honestly, I don't sell on Depop, but the advice would remain the same for all the platforms. Take good photos, describe your items well, put a bunch of good keywords in there, and price your items aggressively, and you're going to do great. I can wait. Cool. We'll get that shipped out to you on Thursday with Thursday's roast. So thank you, Tej. I appreciate that. Thank you for your patience. And I appreciate your business. I really do. It means a lot to me. It means a lot. So thank you, Tej. We do have everything in stock. I just have 2 bags left of that whole bean instead of the 3 that you ordered. But thank you, Tina. You're welcome, Joy. What's up? Colts Comics is in the house. How are you, brother? Appreciate you popping into the live, man. Hope things are good. You must have got a lot of snow up in your neck of the woods, eh? Glad you're back. Missed watching your live. Sorry, I missed the last 2 weeks. I was on the road 2 weeks ago, Monday, outsourcing. So I couldn't join you that Monday. And then last week, I was like in the dead center of a cold that I still kind of have lingering. But last Monday, I was flat out. I couldn't talk. So it would have been a really strange live. But I appreciate you being here. Sorry I missed you the last couple of weeks. All right. Oh, what do we got here? All right, let's jump into our next eBay order. Thank you again, Tej. We got an order this is a great one. So hang out. We got some really good sales. This is like a fun time of year where we start transitioning into some more like spring and summertime sales, but we'll still have a lot of winter sales too. So you get like a mix of everything. So today's actually a really cool mix of everything. We got some short sleeves going out the door. We got some sweaters going out the door, a lot of jeans and pants going out the door, like golf polos. So a good variety. And we're already seeing that trend of spring stuff going out. Maybe a little sooner than I thought, especially how cold it's been over the weekend. But maybe people are dreaming of warm weather. So we got a vintage Eddie Bauer tag here. This is a women's size medium, 100% wool, made in Hong Kong, cardigan sweater from Eddie Bauer. Just really cool pattern on this thing. Just kind of jumped off the rack to me. I didn't want to pay $10 for this piece. It was priced up at $9.99, but I did, and this sold for $34.99, and it didn't take long to sell. It took 1 day to sell. A 24-hour sale right there. So excited about that one. I mean, you can't really beat that. Just like a quick in the door, out the door, and get that money in a pocket. I haven't even spent, I haven't paid the credit card bill for this purchase. I won't pay the credit card bill for this purchase until, let's see, I just bought this week. March the 15th, I'll pay that credit card bill, and I already have the profit in my inbox. You can't beat that. I don't think you can beat that. This is going to Colette. So she paid $34.99 plus $9.95 shipping on this. It's $8.97. It's going ground advantage USPS to Colette. Here it is. Thank you, Colette. Appreciate your order. Colette's probably not watching, but we send those thank you vibes out into the world either way. The gratitude. So thank you, Colette. If you're looking for like shipping supplies, bags, all that stuff, we have a full list of the tools that we recommend for a reselling business. Everything from shipping supplies right down to my computer, this office desk, which is actually a workbench that goes up and down. I'm going to drop a link. That's our full document for everything that we recommend and use for our reselling business, including shipping supplies. So we pay about 6 cents a piece for our shipping bags. We typically buy them in bulk. I buy 1,000 at a time to get that price. Not all shipping supplies are made equal. Sometimes the price, if you might find a really, really good price, but the quality could be bad. The adhesive could suck. The bags could be really thin and rip really easily. So what you're looking for is a good price and some good consistent quality, and everything that we have linked at that document right there in the chat is going to be something that we recommend. Believe me, we've ordered from inconsistent sellers. We've ordered from just flat out bad quality sellers before, but now we found some good sellers, and that's what we share with you. Next up is a really quick sale here too. This is a vintage Carhartt shirt. I didn't actually expect this one to sell fast at all. And this one sold, honestly, it was like 30 minutes after I listed it. This thing sold. It was on a nifty best offer. So it was $22.50. So I think I had this listed for $25.99. Is that how it worked out? And then Nifty sent a 10% off best offer because James came in and watched this item on eBay. 10 minutes later, Nifty saw that James didn't buy it for full price, so sent a 10% off offer to James. James accepted it. So the whole process of listing to sale was less than 30 minutes on this bad boy. So gotta love that nice, quick sale like that. So thank you, James. I paid $5 for this at the thrift store. Vintage tag. The model is S64 if you care. Little chambray work shirt. I think the keywords on this one sold it. So vintage Carhartt blue chambray work shirt. S64 button down men's cotton short sleeve. So not bad. Not all Carhartt sells like that. But if you can get vintage stuff or stuff that's more workwear, that can go pretty quickly and get some good prices too. I used the iMailer clear poly bags from Amazon. Nice. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the positive vibes, Honey Queen. Bro, idea for wholesaler, how to sell on Instagram. I'm not sure. That's not my business, AM Remen. I don't have anything to say about that. That's not my game, so can't really speak on that. But Honey Queen, appreciate those vibes. Thanks for hanging out over on Instagram. Have you ever considered selling K-cups of coffee? I've considered it, but I'm not really interested in doing so. Honestly, the whole idea with the coffee is that it's roasted fresh every week so that you're getting like the freshest possible coffee. When you start getting into K-cups, you start extending the time from roast to your front door, and that's not really something I'm interested in doing. What a lot of our customers do though, like a real lot of our customers, is they buy our coffee in the bags and they buy reusable K-cups. So a little K-cup that you can, use it, rinse it out, wash it out, and use it again in your K-cup machine. So take the freshest possible coffee that you can get, put it into one of those reusable K-cups, and there you go. So that's what a lot of our customers actually do, like a pretty big portion of them. I know K-cups are really popular right now. Yeah, we got about 8 inches of snow. That's a lot, with a lot of drifting. Drifting is in drifting snow. Are you out there drifting in your car in the snow doing donuts and stuff? Hi from snowy Maine. Where in Maine are you, Heidi? And how much snow did you get up in your neck of the woods? I can't. What did I miss here? I already got those. That's a dope cardigan. Yaman. What is your promotional rate on eBay? 6%, but I move it around sometimes too. I encourage everyone to sort of experiment with it and see what works best. You get any of the USPS Ground Advantage boxes and envelopes yet? Yeah, I got a ton of them. Here's the padded ones. Here are the other ones. Those are like the poly bags. I got these ones. These ones suck. Don't order these ones. The padded shipping envelopes. they're just so big and like heavy and bulky. These are the 14 by 5 by 20 padded ones. Don't get that. Get the smaller padded one. The smaller padded one is 12 and a half by 9 and a half. Get that one. That one's better. I mean, it's small. It doesn't fit a lot, but these ones are stupid. And here's the shoebox. Same dimensions as the old shoebox, the priority shoebox. And I have the big ones over there too, but I'm just not going to grab those ones. Those are the same size as like the biggest old priority ones. Those ones were called the large mailing box. They also have a large mailing box for Ground Advantage too. Hope that helps. I was going to go thrifting today, but my car doors were frozen shut. Oh no. So I guess that was a sign to stay home and list last week's purchases. There you go. You listen to the sign. Hopefully you get things sorted out over there. That sucks. Desert Rainflower. Good afternoon. Managed to catch the live today. Welcome in. Good to have you. I'm glad you caught it. What's up, Lori? Welcome in. Central Maine, Luce, and Auburn. I've heard that y'all got a lot going on. If you can believe social media, which I don't usually, but it seems like you get a lot going on in the Lewiston area. If I believe what's happening on, just like a lot going on. I'll just leave it at that. I put in a coffee. I put in an order in last week. Gotcha. Cool. Can you use stock photos on eBay? Some people do. You're not. I don't think you're technically supposed to. I don't know what the exact rules are. What are the exact rules on stock photos on eBay? I'm not even sure about that. But I take my own photos. But Carhartt selling brand this month. That's awesome. It's Ella and B. I need to be better, streamline my accounts. I just appreciate that you're here. That's all. Yeah, what's the deal? What is the ruling? I don't know what the ruling is on stock photos on eBay. Are you supposed to? I haven't read the rules on it. I don't use them. How do you get the cheapest shipping on eBay? Just print the labels right through eBay. I don't know how else to answer the question. Just print your labels right through eBay. You get a discount. Like eBay provides a commercial ship. They have a contract, so they get shipping discounts. So just buy your labels right through. Surprised you have power with the ice storm. Sorry, Debbie, but we got really lucky. You got like a third of an inch or so, maybe a half inch of ice yesterday morning, and then it switched over in the afternoon from freezing rain to regular rain, and that's actually when it was raining the hardest. And so we got really lucky. It just got a couple degrees colder or a couple degrees warmer, and that was enough to save us from getting what they were saying was going to be 1.5 inches of ice, and that would have put us in a really bad spot. I would not be live with you right now, that's for sure, and we probably would have big problems on our hands, like family crisis kind of problems that we'd be dealing with right now. So we're really, really grateful for how things turned out. There is a longer story to that, but I already shared it, so I don't want to bore people too much. But if you want to see the whole story, actually you can go to my stories. I posted updates throughout the day yesterday, and then another update this morning, like outside, showing you exactly what was happening. So those stories are available on Facebook and Instagram. You can watch those stories. They probably will. Some of them will be expiring soonish, or maybe already have. But hey, just joining. Long time no see. Glad to see you back, Ashley. Sorry I missed you the last 2 weeks. I was sick last week. I couldn't talk last Monday, so I didn't bother. There wasn't even a thought that I was going to do a live. I just couldn't talk. And then the week before, I was on the road sourcing, so I couldn't do the live. It wasn't planned to miss either one, but it just sort of worked out that way. Happy to be back. So big no on stock photos. That will get you a Vero. There you go, 707. So thank you for that. Somebody, 707 says no stock photos. Hopefully that's helpful. Fly button down. You don't want to get a Vero. We lost Wi-Fi yesterday, 15 minutes south of Franklin, and lights have flickered. Gotcha. Hope the lights hang on. Honeybee or Honey Queen, I hope the lights hang on for you. Funny, you and KWA are on simultaneously. Who dat? Stock photos are against rules on eBay and can get you banned if a company gives you a Vero. Okay, well, there you go. Miss Tempting Treasures following up with the don't do the stock photos. Yes, there definitely is. My real world job as an attorney, lots of immigration questions in the forefront. Gotcha. And we'll just sort of leave that where that is. We'll just leave that where it is, if you know what I mean. But I appreciate you sharing that info there. Many people are using Photo Room to make modeled photos now, though, that look like stock. Nice. Yeah, that's a good point. I do kind of like some of those photos from the Photo Room app, the way they do that. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. I don't use them, but I like it. When you go out thrifting or buying merchandise, do you put your store on away mode? If I'm gone long enough where I can't miss my typical shipping deadline, then I will. but I don't usually go for too long. I haven't been outside since Friday. I'm south of Dallas, Texas. I don't want to fall. It's too slick outside. Oh my gosh. Crazy that y'all got ice all the way down there in Dallas. What a crazy big storm, like stretching all the way from Texas, like all the way up through Maine and like everything in between, Midwest and everything. Kind of crazy. Kway said today he's sad he can't go in the pool today. Why do I care what that guy says? He's in my, like, he's sending me like probably selfies right now. As we speak. Debbie, I don't need you telling me more Kway stuff. He's probably sending me a selfie of like something he sold or him eating lunch or something. I don't need it from you too, Debbie. I'm kidding, of course. Define stock photos. Stock photos are the photos that like you steal it from a company that has it on their website. That would be like a stock photo. Are you going to show us what you bought on what's not? I don't have any of it around. So I guess short answer would be no. I don't think so. We're going to ship today. What's up, Dana? Sometimes it's just worth it to do the work rather than taking shortcuts. I like it. But Barry D would say, take the shortcuts, right? That's what Barry D would do. What would Barry D do? I am washing 5 North Face jackets I picked up. Nice, Dana. I'll be using that nifty code from you soon. Since starting reselling in December, I've had 42 sales and currently have 107 active. Nice. Got a nice little hustle going on over there. Took photos of 20 yesterday. Look at you, Armstrong. Crushing it. Crushing it. I love it. What do we got here? You guys cracked me up on Surf Celebs last night. Yeah. Anything to distract and just give some, you're just trying to give the guy a laugh is really what it comes down to. And other people in the chat. It's fun to, you can entertain from the chat. That's my belief, is you can be part of the show and you can make people laugh and, enjoy their time. And I think that contributes to things. Glad that you enjoyed it. Next order is a great order right here. I picked this up in Florida. If you watched my YouTube video of thrifting in Florida, I found this at a store actually with Kway. This Hugo Boss right here. I don't know if you can see the tag. It's kind of like reflective. Anyway, it's Hugo Boss. I don't pick up a lot from Hugo Boss, but 2 things that I do pick up from Hugo Boss are jeans and polo shirts. Jeans and polo shirts do well. I don't pick up the button-down shirts typically, but these sold for, this was on is this a nifty offer? 42. Yeah, this was a Nifty best offer, so $42. So Nifty automatically sent out an offer to this person for 10% off. This is going to Dan. So Dan watched this item. Nifty sent out that offer. $42 on Hugo Boss jeans right here. I paid, I think, $10 for these at the thrift store. And I know a lot of people say, hey, so most of my jeans at my thrift stores locally are $5 for a pair of jeans and $5 for a pair of pants. And $5 for shirts. So a lot of people will come into my, comment on videos where I buy and sell jeans, and they'll say like, well, the jeans at my thrift stores are $10. They're too expensive to buy. And I get that. And that means you're probably not going to buy like Levi's and maybe Lucky Brand, right? They just don't sell for enough. But these Hugo Boss sold for $42. And honestly, the market value on them is like 45 to 50. So, and they sold actually really quickly. So there are still jeans that I'll pay $10 for. This took 10 days to sell and sold for $42. So to me, that's a great sale. $10 into 42. So don't sleep on Hugo Boss jeans. The model here is Hugo Boss Maine, and I've only sold a few pairs of Hugo Boss jeans, and I feel like every time I find them, it's that model Maine. So it's a regular fit straight. They use that Candiani denim, which is like a more expensive, like desirable denim too. But anyway, Hugo Boss jeans are a definite pickup for me. Of course, there's nuance there, right? Loose fit, straight leg, flare leg. Those are all like the best sellers right now. You might have a harder time with like things that are skinnier. They still sell, but there's always nuance to these things. But Hugo Boss, if I find jeans, I'm picking them up. When you travel to other city to thrift, do you claim hotels for taxes or just gas? Honey Queen, this is out of 100% respect the way they answer this question. I'm not going to give any advice on taxes whatsoever, because anytime I don't know nothing about taxes. Everything I know about taxes are me asking questions to my tax professional, and they give me a yes or no answer. And a lot of things they just take care of. I just give them numbers, and I don't even know what they're doing with it. So I purposely don't answer anything tax related. I would say ask a tax professional. That's not my thing. I sell clothes. I'm not an expert in taxes. I barely pull it together with my own taxes on any given year or any given quarter. So I would encourage people not to listen to me about that stuff. Talk to a tax professional about that sort of thing. Because when you get into travel, it's not black and white. Travel is tricky. So I have to specifically ask about travel. I just give my accountant all the travel stuff, and they do the tricky stuff with it. So I would like to give you a better answer. I just am very, very comfortable saying, look, I don't know. Poor baby, he can come up to Georgia and swim. It feels like it's 16. Oh my gosh, that's cool for Georgia. Big Yumbo commented on his last video about the older guy, Chris, 45. Big Yumbo commented on his last video about the older guy, Chris, 45. I don't know who that is. Am I supposed to know who that is? I don't know who that is that you're referring to. I wish my family would recognize what I do, a job asking me to help them. I wish my family would recognize what I do as a job, always asking me to help them. It takes me away from my work. Well, you just got to set boundaries, set expectations over there, Dennett, and let them know Mama's working. I got stuff to do. If you got requests right now, write them down. And when I'm done, I'll read them. I don't know. Set some expectations over there would be my advice. They say in any relationship, right? It just comes down to setting expectations and living up to expectations. And all relationships, romantic or professional or family relationships come down to, expectations. And that's it. So I tend to be a matter of fact about things. I know it's more complicated than I present. According to eBay policy, you can use stock photos for new items. Thank you, Frenchie, for sharing that. What is your favorite section to go through at the thrift store? I don't know if I have a favorite. They're all my favorite. That's like asking me who's my favorite kid. I love anything that's in the men's section. I'd say is good for me. I like that. Florida thrifting is fantastic. It can be, yeah, for sure. Dana, that's awesome. Thank you. He's another YouTuber. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know who that is, and I don't know. So that they talking about me? Why are they talking about me? Why is another YouTuber talking about me? I don't know who that is. Edward. I'm sure this person is a nice person, guy or girl. But why are they talking about me? Mind your business. They're talking to me. That's fine. So next up is a order for Edward. This is an Untuckit. Wrinkle-free. The model is called Davidson. And this is a medium slim fit. Nice little pattern on this one. A spread collar. Nice plaid. I like it. This one sold in 8 days. Sold in 8 days. This was on a nifty best offer, $19.80. So I priced these typically at $21.99 or $22.99, usually those two numbers. So this was a nifty best offer. Edward came in and watched this item. And then 10 minutes later, Nifty sent an automatic 10% off best offer of $19.80. Edward accepted it. Done deal. Assist to Nifty. Thank you. Probably hear that a lot today. I feel like I had a lot of Nifty offers this weekend. Edward. I thought I made a thank you card for Edward. I didn't. Well, that was mean. Done. He saw one of your videos. He's funny. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So he's friend. He's not foe. Got it. Big Yumbo is cool. He was on your side. Gotcha. Okay, cool. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. But I'm glad that he's cool or she's cool. He yeah, I guess it's a he. I guess it's a he. All right. Next up is an order for Daryl. Pair of Levi's jeans. Nothing fancy here. Paid $5. He sold on a nifty best offer, $20.70. So Daryl liked this item on eBay. 10 minutes later, Nifty sent a 10% off best offer. Closed the deal for me. Levi's 541 athletic fit. How long did these take to sell? Took 71 days to sell, so just over 2 months. which is a very healthy, to me, if it's under 90 days, that's very healthy. If it's out of season, then, I expect things to maybe take more than 90 days, but jeans are in season, sold them in under 90 days. To me, that's a W. Not everything sells in like 7, 8, 9, 2. I know we had some really quick sales this weekend, but the reality is you're going to have a lot of things that take a little bit more time than, a week. Thank you, Daryl. Do you think allowing return really increases number of buyer sales? Well, I mean, it's one of those. It's kind of like an impossible question to answer. It's sort of it's beautiful outside with like just the way the sun's hitting all the ice and stuff on the grass and on the trees. Just the angle of the sun right now is it's beautiful out there. It's windy. And it's cold. I don't want to go out there. But yeah, it's one of those like theoretical questions. I don't know what you want me to say. You know what I mean? Like, it seems to make sense that somebody would be more willing to take a risk on a platform like eBay where they don't. The seller you don't know who they are, right? So it seems to make sense that somebody who's never bought from someone before, and you're like, well, I can return it if it's not as if it's not as described, or if I don't like it. I feel like that gives some people some comfort for sure, especially when, you're competing in a market. You're competing with a marketplace with a lot of people with similar items. Those Levi's 541s, there's probably 5,000 of those listed. There might be 10,000 of those listed, right? So the fact that my listing says allows returns, in fact, mine will say free returns. So if it says free returns and you have the same exact pair of jeans below it for the same exact price and yours doesn't have returns, I think it's sort of pretty easy in that scenario to sort of predict the buyer behavior. And there's going to be a lot of scenarios that are very similar to that. So if you're selling clothing online, particularly common clothes like Levi's or Banana Republic or North Face or Patagonia or Columbia, I'm just looking at it, Under Armour, you're going to have a lot of competition on those items. So for me, any way I can get a leg up over other people, because remember, they're selling the exact same item in the exact same size, in the exact color for a very similar price. So things like having better photos, having better keywords, having better descriptions, and offering returns can really make or break deals consistently. So for me, I'm looking at how do I build a system where I can regularly outcompete you and some other people. And I share it. I'm 100% transparent with each and every one of you. Like, I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing to beat you. And I want to beat you. I want you all to be successful, but I want to beat you when you're selling those same pair of Levi's 541s. I want to have better photos than you. I want to have better titles than you. I want to have better descriptions. I want to have free shipping or free returns. Sorry, I don't do free shipping, but free returns. I want to have every little thing I can control and put in my favor. I want in my favor, if that makes sense. So there's things that we can control, there's things that we can influence, and then there's things that we don't have any control of. But the quality of your listing, including if you're offering returns or not, is things that you are in your control that can help you be more competitive or less competitive based on your decisions. So the things that I do, and you can ask me about anything that I do with my business, right? You can say, like, white background on your cover photo. Do you think that really helps? Well, of course I think it really helps, because I've made those decisions so that I can be competitive against you. So does it work? I don't know. Is it better? I'm not sure. But if I'm doing it in my business every single day, then you better believe that I think that all those decisions are making me a competitive advantage against other sellers, and those other sellers include you. You could treat him like K-Way or Surfs if that helps. Okay. I don't know. I think we're talking about the jumbo person. I don't know who they are. I'm not going to treat them any certain way. Are there any of the Levi's 500 series that you stay away from, or are they all good pickups if they are cheap? I don't particularly stay away from any of them, but I recommend that everybody. Jeans are so easy to comp because you can really get down to the nitty gritty with jeans. You can put in the model, and Levi's, the model, could be 527, 505. So when you're doing your comps, run it based on the model and based on the waist and the inseam, the size. So 38 by 32, and comp them. see what the sell-through on that pair of jeans, that model and that size, see what the sell-through rate is, see what the average sale price is, and then make a decision based on the cost of the item and what you think you can sell them for. Make a decision if that's good for your business model. But remember, I make those decisions with Levi's based on all the things that I do. I have good photos with a great cover photo with a white background. I have really great keywords in my item titles. I have really great keywords in my descriptions. I put measurements in all my listings. I use Nifty to cross list, and I use Nifty automation tools. So my stuff's delisting and relisting constantly every single day. It's sending out automatic offers to people with 10% off. I price my items aggressively too. So, it just depends. Like, I don't know all about your model, so I don't give people recommendations on borderline items like Levi's to pick up or not. I don't know how much you're paying for them either, right? So you got to make these decisions, but they're really, really easy decisions because jeans are so easy to look up. It's not really the way with most shirts, but jeans, there's a model and a size right there on it, and you can comp it right down to that. And some sizes are going to have, you're going to find some like sneaky good sizes that are like, wow, the sell-through rate on this size is like double what it is in other sizes, right? And sometimes you'll find it the opposite. You'll be like, this is like really low compared to some other sizes. So look up what you're finding. Don't listen to me to tell you what to go buy. Just look it up. Look at the sell-through rate. Look at the average sale price and make a really good decision for your business model, which is different than mine. Stephanie is in the house. What's up? Where do I find your info on where to order stickers for my business? I thought you had a link or something. So the stickers that I use, I print out myself. Are these the ones that you're referring to? I print them on my thermal label printer. If that's what you're looking for, I have in this document that I'm linking right there in the chat with all my reselling supplies, you'll find those thermal stickers. I print them from my thermal printer. So they cost me 1 cent a piece. And remember, it's a thermal printer, so it uses no ink. So I don't have any ink costs associated with it. It's just 1 cent a piece. They come in a big roll. Let's see if I can grab the big roll right back here. Comes in a roll of 750 stickers. I got a fresh one right here. You can get them in different colors too. But if that's what you're referring to, then yeah, it's linked in that document right there. Sorry for shaking that. I feel like the storefront I like to storefront stock other resellers. I look for stores that have a lot of reviews, and I look to see what they are buying, selling, and how the pictures look to see what I can do better. I like it. Getting 1% better every day, is the goal. Always be learning, have a learning mindset. I like it. I like it. Okay, cool. You're welcome. Hopefully that helps. But remember, you got to have a thermal printer for those stickers to work. And I have a thermal label printer linked at that document too, if you're interested in that. Next order is going out to Michelle. And those are great questions. I love having this conversation about like, should I pick things up? Should I not? How do I comp things? Business model. Is it better to do this versus that? I love having those conversations with you all. So enjoy it a lot. So next up is an order for Michelle. Michelle got a vintage Eddie Bauer. So I got some comments. I guess I had a cart post, like a photo post from the other day. And this was in the cart. And people saw the Eddie Bauer tag and they're like, oh, should I be buying Eddie Bauer? And my usual answer to all that stuff is like, well, it depends. There's very few brands where I pick up everything from that brand. Arc'teryx would be one. Filson is another. Howler Brothers is another. I got a Howler Brothers sales coming up. But most brands, I'm picking up very specific things from those brands because you don't sell brands, you sell items. And every brand has items that are more in demand, less in demand, and whatever. So this is a vintage Eddie Bauer tag. This one's made in Korea. It's 100% wool flannel shirt with the flat pockets on the front with a really, it's kind of got a very classic, almost vintage look plaid pattern to it in colorway. So to me, I eyeball this item. Not only is it wool and vintage, right? But I eyeball it and I'm like, is a customer got to see a photo of this item and want to buy it? And my answer was yes to that. So there has to be some instinct to it too. If you try to comp this item, very difficult item to get to pin down sell-through rate on, because when I search for like wool, flannel, vintage Eddie Bauer shirts, the search filter, it just doesn't give me the results I'm looking for. And plus you have to get it down to like the pattern and all that stuff really matters. So if I looked up comps on this item just because I made a follow-up photo post about this item because I got questions. So I wanted to dig in and see if I could find some like sell-through rate information and average sale price. And honestly, my search wasn't very good. I wasn't getting good data that I felt was really helpful. But that's not why I bought it. I didn't comp this to buy it. I just eyeballed it and knew from years of selling this stuff and just knowing what sells and what doesn't. This took 4 days to sell. But if I looked at the data, the sell-through rate, the sell-through rate that I was seeing was not good, and the sale prices were not good. But I was like, I can get $30 for this item. It sold for full asking price, $29.99, plus $6.95 shipping. So, and the shipping label cost me $6.46. It is going to Springfield, Virginia. Nice little wool flannel button down. It's a good weekend for that. I know it got cold in Virginia, and you got some snow and ice in Virginia. So nice pickup there. And this is going to Michelle. It's getting warm in here now. Kim's got the heat blasting. The sun's kind of high in the sky right now too. It's hitting like this side of the house, warming me up in here. My office gets warmer than Kim's office. So she's probably cold in her office, and I'm like sweating in here. Oh, they get another tape. Looks like the pattern you have on. It's a little bit. It's similar, for sure. For sure. What did I look? To find the find of the week for us was a pair of Laurel Piana jeans. Bought them for $18 and sold for $190. That's awesome. And you know that's an awesome sale. It'll actually kind of tie that back to a conversation we were just having. I don't even pick up everything from Laurel Piana. I'll occasionally find like a Daniel Cremo or whatever that brand is. It's like a lower value brand. I'll find that like a blazer from them that's Laurel Piana fabric, and I won't pick it up. If it was like Laurel Piana, like actually made by Laurel Piana, not just the fabric from Laurel Piana, that's a different story. But there's so much nuance in reselling that just takes time to learn. And anyway, it's a great sale. I'm psyched for. I would buy Laurel Piana jeans for sure, probably for just about any price, by the way. So nice pickup there. My family puts down my eBay saying it's a waste of time, not supportive at all. That sucks. I hate that for people. No way, I live in Springfield, Virginia. Welcome in from Springfield. Sweet USA Peak. What's up, brother? How are you? Is it 929? 929. Is this my friend 929 from South Carolina? What's going on? You have a different picture if it's you. Hope you're well either way. Welcome in. One thing I find when Kim is very supportive of my business and always has been, but there's like any relationship, there's always times when things like, maybe I'm working on a weekend where she wants me not to be working, or she wants me to be more present with something on the weekend that I'm not present with, or that I have a bunch of stuff in the living room because I just bought a whole bunch of crap that she, obviously pushes back on parts of the business. You got to clear out this room, or you got to turn off the business at some point and, enjoy your weekends and stuff like that. And she's not wrong with those things, but oftentimes what helps me sort of when there is pushback is let's just look at the bank account. Let's look at the sales from the weekend. And although this wasn't in relation to to any kind of argument or disagreement, but just yesterday I showed her, I was like, hey, listen, I just want to show you, just to give you an idea of what's happening with the cash flow of the business. And I just showed her some deposits over the last couple of days that came from, eBay, Poshmark, social media, and et cetera. And I showed her those deposits, right? And I was like, this is pretty good. And this is just from the last, 3 or 4 days, right? And she was like, okay. So I find it's helpful to sort of, okay, 929, what's up, man? Welcome in. Yeah, Georgia, you're right. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Glad that you're here, brother. Hope you're doing well. Long time no see. Hope everything's going good. I'm guessing you get some weather down there, huh? Down there in Georgia. But anyway, this is something that I haven't done enough of over the years, but is to show my partner, Kim, give her the information, show her the cash flow. Don't just tell her, hey, business is good, show her, and I think sometimes it's hard for her to, if I'm going to be talking about things like sell-through rate or percentage of sales or whatever, like she's not really going to understand that, but most people can understand bank deposits. And you show somebody a good bank deposit from eBay, like my last week's was, I think my last week's deposit was like 2,000 or something like that, right? Like people can look at 2,000 and say, okay, that looks good, and so I think sometimes just being, transparent about the health of, the economic health of your business could help you, not just like win fights with your family, right? But more just share it with them, and it might stave off fights in the first place. They might respect your business a little bit more if you share more about what it actually, what the bottom line is. Because if I just showed, or anybody, this next sale, it doesn't really show you the health of the business, because it's like going to be like my next sale is probably like a $10 profit item, right? So you're like, oh, cool, you sold something and you made $10 profit, that's not really going to help anybody like really believe that your business is healthy. You're like, yeah, cool, you made $10. Like, but I think sharing some of those bigger, macro numbers can be helpful. Can you please share some information about shipping and any tips you might have? Thank you very much. Flip, we are shipping as we speak right now. Like we're in the process of shipping out orders. So if you have specific questions that you want, I don't really know like what tips you're looking for, right? So if you can like ask me a specific question about shipping, I can talk about it, and I'm happy to answer those questions. But I'm not really sure about like blanket shipping tips. You'd have to tell me a little bit more about what you want to learn, what platform you're shipping on, what you're shipping. Some more insight would help me for sure. I have a thrift store in my area that has a ton of high-end designer clothing, but priced right at market value. This Friday is $15 fill a bag sale. I wonder if they will include the designer items in the sale. I hope so, for your sake. I hope so. All right, let's jump in. We get an order for Alejandro, $19.99. I actually thought I could get a little bit more on this shirt. It took a little while to sell. We can see a vintage Wrangler tag there. It's a pearl snap. It's kind of like a heavier, thick cotton. It's got a contrast collar, and it's also got contrast sleeves. So see the color, like the tan color of the collar? The sleeves are that color too. So I was like, man, like I do well with unique and vintage Wrangler. And I just thought that this would sell for more like $30. I had it priced up a little bit higher. I lowered the price, and then I lowered the price again, and then got an offer of $19.99. This sat around for a little while. So even though my instincts, I think, are pretty darn good, especially, I've sold a ton of Wrangler over the years and a lot of Western wear. I feel like I got pretty good instincts with this stuff, but sometimes you're just wrong, and you just have to let the market dictate it. So I paid $5 for it. I'm still making profit on that $19.99 sale. Buyer paid $6.95 shipping. The shipping label is going to be $7.52 on this one. And so it's, I didn't learn soon enough in this business is this business isn't about being right or wrong. And I think oftentimes people think of it this way, like they want to make a buy that they had. Like, I think this is a $30 shirt. I want to get $30 for it. I'm getting offers for 23 and I think it's worth more. And that's fine, but it's really not about being right or wrong. After a little while, if you realize your price was wrong and you have to adjust your price, or you have to change your photos out, or you have to change the item title because you didn't like really do a great job at it or something, then you got to do that. And you got to adjust. And to me, this is still right. I sold it. I'm going to make about $10 profit on this item, maybe 11, and it's still right. But I had to make some adjustments, and lower my expectations on price in order to get to arrive at that right. It wasn't the initial right that I thought, where I was going to get maybe 27, but I got it. That one still does confuse me a little bit. It's got all the elements. It's vintage. It's pearl snap. It's got a cool plaid pattern. It's got the contrast collar. It's got this contrast sleeves. I still feel like that's a $30 piece, but you just got to let the market sort of dictate it. And that one did take a while to sell. That one took 13 months to sell. So at some point, I just got to say, hey, there's probably not a $30 buyer for this item out there. and I just have to adjust my expectations to arrive at a new version of being right, so to speak. So next order is going to William, and this is a Howler Brothers. Picked this one up retail arbitrage just 2 weeks ago. I feel like I just listed this. 10 days to sell on this one, and brand new with tags. Howler Brothers, pearl snap. It's got that like all over kind of floral pattern on this one. It's called, the model is called the H-Bar B Snap Shirt, and I put that in the item title. You can see it actually. It says it right here. I don't know what the retail price is $85 on this, and it sold for full asking price $59.99. I got a couple like low ball offers in the range on this piece, and I was like, that ain't doing it. No way, no how. And I ultimately did in 10 days get my full asking price $59.99 plus the buyer's paying $6.95 shipping. Picked this up on clearance at a retail store. I wish I could have found so many more of these. I only found 2 Howler Brothers that day. I wish I could have found 100 of them on clearance, but it is what it is. Good profit on this item. I don't remember how much I spent for it. A lot of what I was picking up was in the $10 to $20 range, but I just don't remember. It was probably somewhere between $10 and $20 for this, and it sold for $59.99. So nice little profit piece there. I'm very happy with that, especially inside of 10 days. I'm not going to pay the credit card bill on that one until February the 15th, and I already got my profit. I like it. Next up is a North Face shirt. This is a twill flannel shirt. So kind of got that like little twill pattern to it. Nice plaid. Men's size extra large. This one sold for full asking price $21.99. I'm actually not sure how long this one took to sell. That one took, I picked it up October 11th. How come the formula isn't working on the, that ain't right. The formula is not working on my spreadsheet to tell me how many days this took to sell. So November, December, January. So this took 100, or like it took like 98 days to sell. So 3 months, we'll call it, on this North Face. Why is that formula wrong? All the other formulas are working. Why is that one not working? Well, that's strange. This is going to Chad. Thank you, Chad. This is going to Kewanee, Illinois. I think they got a good bit of snow up in that area. I paid $5 for this at a thrift store. 3 months to sell. Sold for $21.99. Probably like a $13 profit on this item right there after shipping and fees. Pretty standard fare stuff for. That was a thrift store find. This one is for Bryce. This is a really fast sale. This sold in like 12 hours. I listed this yesterday and sold overnight when I was sleeping for full asking price, $18.99. Columbia was my number 3 brand last year. Are you only live on YouTube? I believe I'm live on Facebook and Instagram too, Sweet USA. Columbia, used, omni shade, vented, short sleeve, just flat black shirt, size medium, 12-hour sale, $18.99. I paid $5 for it. If you price Columbia's right, and again, do all the other things really well, take great photos, have really good keywords, have great descriptions, put measurements in all your listings, cross list, use automation tools, Columbia can sell really well. You just got to price it right too on top of that. My number 3 bestseller in terms of quantity sold in 2025. It is one of the most well-known American brands, Columbia, and you just got to get your price right, and people will buy them. And again, all those other things. This is a very competitive marketplace. So if you're going to be selling used Columbia online, you really got to do a lot of things very well, because you're going to have thousands of people with very similar shirts that you're competing with. So you got to beat them. You got to work harder than them. You got to have higher quality listings in them, and then you can sell it. Next up, this took a little while longer to sell than I thought. I've actually seen this brand kind of cool off a little bit. Some pieces will still sell really well, but in general, I've seen Denim and Supply from Ralph Lauren kind of slow down a little bit. I'm not sure why. Sometimes things go up and down. So this is a model from Ralph Lauren that was discontinued, I believe, in 2016. So I think it was around from 2011 to 2016. Western wear, Americana. I think the vibes on Denim and Supply are just awesome. I love this line. But they killed it in 2016. They brought it back about 3 years ago, and they brought it back as Polo Denim and Supply. So I know this is from the older, like the discontinued line, because it says Ralph Lauren Denim and Supply on the tag. When they relaunched it a couple of years ago, they relaunched it as Polo Denim and Supply. So that's how you can tell the difference between an older piece and a newer piece. Maybe because they relaunched, the resale value of these has gone down because now there's more available on the market because they're selling them, brand new now. I'm not sure. But either way, this is like a women's shirt. I guess it's a Henley. I guess it's like a Henley. Yeah, it's like a Henley shirt. Nice kind of Southwestern pattern. For me, the stuff that sells well for this brand are things that scream Southwestern or Americana. If it's kind of plain and basic, it's probably not going to do as well. So this sold for $24. So this women's piece, I paid $5 for it at a thrift store. I think it took about 6 months to sell on this one, maybe longer. It's going to Miami, Florida. I bet you this is going to a reshipper or a freight forwarder, and this is going overseas. A lot of my sales to Miami end up doing that. Customers. So $24 in this, I paid $5. Buyer paid $6.95 shipping as well. I agree, that is a nice shirt. I was once told profit is profit, no matter how you look at it. I like it. But sometimes when you're talking to your family, using the macro numbers help. If I tell Kim, like, hey, I sold a $24 shirt, if I went in there and told her that, like, I sold a shirt for $24, I paid $5 for it, she'd be like, cool. Does that mean business is good or not good? I don't know. What you make on that? She'd be like, you probably made what, 13, 14 bucks or something like that on it? 15 maybe. She's like, what does that really tell me? But showing her the bank deposits from eBay and Poshmark tends to be a more productive thing for letting her in on like what's actually going on in this business over here. Next up is a pair of Under Armour pants. I actually buy and sell a lot of Under Armour pants, but these ones are better than most. The model here is called the Enduro Ripstop Tactical Performance Pants. If you can find anything from Under Armour that is like that from the tactical series, these tend to sell really, really well. So typically I'll sell like the golf pants from Under Armour for like 20 to 22 bucks. But these pants right here, these Ripstop Tactical Pants, I listed for $32.99 and accepted an offer of $27.99. I picked these up in Charlotte on that YouTube video when I went to Charlotte in late November. So these are about, I don't know when I listed them. Now let's look at how long they took 61 days to sell. I listed them on November the 26th and they sold this morning actually. So 61 days, 2 months to sell on these, $5 and $27.99. I love this sale. I sell a lot of common brands. I mean, that's what makes up so many of my sales is these like lower end flips that don't get people excited, but if you're shipping out 10 of them a day, I think people can get a little bit more excited about them. So this one, $27.99. I'll tell you how much profit I made off this one. It's close to 20 bucks this one. So after my fees and the shipping label, eBay's paying me out $25.14. I paid $5 for this, so I made $20.14 on this sale right here. Only 35% of my units sold end up making me $20 profit or more. Only 35%. The other 65% are items that I make a $10 to $19 profit on. 65% of my business is that. But at the end of each month, it ends up being about 50-50 in terms of like the total profit from each of those categories. So about 50% of my total profit comes from those 65% of sales that are $10 to $20 profit items. And then 50% of my profits come from items where I make $20 or more. So when people ask me, like, why don't you just sell more items that sell for $20 or more? I'm like, I mean, I would if I could find that stuff, but 60, the other half of my business is stuff that sells for less than that. So I'm not going to cut off half of my business. I can't afford to do that. I'm full time with this. If somebody's like part time and they're just doing it as a hobby or a side hustle or extra income, maybe they could cut off all those $10 to $20 profit items and just be happy with that other 50% of profit that they make. I can't do that. I'm full time. I need to fill up the cart and need to fill up my bank account with those $10 to $20 sales. And again, that's 50% of my profit. It represents 65% of my units sold and 50% of my profit, if that makes sense. So if you're following that logic there. So these smaller items are really, really important to my business. They're as important as the bigger items are. Here's a bigger item. This is actually a really quick seller too. I featured this in a video recently. It was also part of a YouTube video that I recently did. So I took a chance on this. I've never sold a Banana Republic linen blazer before. This is actually a linen and cotton blend. So I picked this up for $7 at Goodwill just a few weeks ago. And I listed it. Did I list it over the weekend? No, I listed it 11 days ago. And it sold for $41.40 plus the buyer's paying $9.95 shipping on this. So at that particular thrift store, I can't comp items because I have no cell phone service at that store. So sometimes I just do blind buys. I was like, it's $7. I can make some profit off this bad boy. I was actually surprised when I got home and I saw comps were really, really good on this. So I listed this, I think, for $48.99. But anyway, this sold on a nifty best offer, so $41.40. So the buyer, Scott, came in and watched this item on eBay. 10 minutes later, Nifty saw that Scott hadn't purchased the item for full price. So Nifty automatically sent a 10% off offer to entice them to buy before they buy from another seller or another platform. Let's get this deal done. So 10% off, $41.40 offer. Scott accepted that offer, and now we're shipping it to Tyndale, South Dakota. 11 days to sell, $7 sale into $41.40. I'm going to tell you exactly how much I made off this order too. This would be like one of my higher profit items for the weekend. Maybe the highest? No, probably that Howard Brothers is probably the highest, but let's look at the details. After shipping and fees, eBay is going to pay me out $31.82 on this sale, and I paid $7 for it. So this is a $24 and change profit item right here. The fact that it sold in 11 days is just gravy. We got some fast sales this weekend. Some slow ones too, but gotta love those fast ones. I have the shipping supplies that I use for suits and blazers. These are bigger bags. I have these exact bags, both the clear poly that's on the inside and this bag right here. I have them linked in this document right here. It's all our recommended reseller supplies, but I have this. Some of you I know are just getting into suits and blazers and might need a bigger poly bag. So I have the exact ones that I order from the same vendor linked in that document. So this is going to Scott. I didn't make this order just came in before we went live, so I didn't make a thank you card for Scott yet. Do it right now. Thank you, Scott. That's the card. So $24 profit on this one. We still got, it just wrapped up eBay. Now we're going to jump into Poshmark. Got a lot of Poshmark orders. Just solid Poshmark weekend. Poshmark has been very up and down for me over the past few weeks. Very hot or cold. And this weekend it was hot. We'll take it. So I'm sure you've been asked a lot, how fast do local thrift stores get picked over generally? Are they usually bought out the best stuff immediately by people who know when new stuff will be stocked in the stores? Zach, it's an impossible question to answer because that answer could be different from two stores that are 10 minutes down the road from each other. So the best thing to do is to go out to your local thrift stores, and you can't just test a thrift store by going to it once. For me, before I can kind of make a judgment on a thrift store of whether or not it is like something I'm going to frequent and like go to every week or maybe twice a week or maybe once a month. I make that decision based on going to that store 5 different times. Typically I try to do it on different days and different times, right? And just kind of see what the store is on average after 5 visits. But and by the way, that can change over time too. So a store that was once really good can all of a sudden be not so good anymore, and I might change how often I go to that store. So I've had a store I used to go to. I was going to it for a little while, 2 times a week, because I could go there twice a week and get really good stuff. But then the math kind of changed, right? I saw the store slide a little bit, and it wasn't me worth spending time going there twice a week, and I switched it back to a once a week thing. And this happens a lot. Some stores I go to on every 2 or 3 week basis, but then man, I go there a couple times in a row and that store's hot. Boom, I changed that. I put it back on my once a week basis. So it's, to answer your question, would be absolutely impossible, because not only can every store be different, but every store can be different on different weeks and different months and different seasons based on managers changing, staffing changes, who's shopping, those places, what the season is. There's so many things that go into it. For me to answer that question and give you like a flat answer would be ridiculous. But hopefully that answer that I did give had some value to you. Howdy, everyone. 20 degrees with 4 inches of ice here in North Carolina. Where in North Carolina are you, Wolfman? You have 4 inches of ice? I feel like 4 inches of ice is impossible. I'm not doubting you, but maybe 4 inches of ice? How, where the heck are you that you got 4 inches of ice? Either way, sending positive vibes. That sounds like a mess. True, they change up all the time. There you go. What did I miss here? Wow, you did great. Thank you, Dana. Hi, Amy. Missed a few comments here. I've had Nifty a long time now, but just started using the AI feature. It makes everything super efficient, and I'm saving an hour daily on extra tasks. Love to hear that. Running Ahoo. Yeah, I switched to the AI listing tool maybe 7 or 8 months ago now, and no looking back. And I think that one thing that's so awesome about that AI listing tool that I probably don't talk about enough, is the fact that it like loads up your item title with good keywords, and it loads up the description with really good keywords. And I really think that helps sales. I think it's helped my sales, because not only when people are searching on eBay or Poshmark or whatever, it's searching the item title. Yes, like whatever they're searching for, like it goes through the item titles, but it's also looking through the descriptions too. And Google even does this as well. People can search on Google for items. You're going to get eBay results that pop up based on words that are in the description. So I think it's an underrated part of Nifty software, and I like a lot about Nifty. But I think the AI tool, for that reason, just for the keywords alone, never mind that, you mentioned like the saving you time and extra tasks, 100%. We're on the same page there. But man, the keyword game in Nifty to me is really, really valuable, and I think helps me make extra sales. I haven't dropped this link yet, but I do have a link that if you want to try Nifty for free for 7 days, all you got to do is tap this link and sign up. If you're on Instagram, you can't tap the link in the chat. It won't be there. But all you got to do is you got to click on my profile and you'll find that Nifty link. So you click on that link, you sign up, you're going to get a free 7-day trial, no commitments, no strings attached, right? And then at the end of that trial, if you decide that you like it, you can sign up. You'll get 15% by using that same exact link. All you got to do is tap that link and you'll get both the discount and the free trial. So you can see if it works for your business. You can try the AI listing tool and see if it vibes with you. I think within that first 7 days, you're going to see results. You're going to see, if you haven't cross-listed before and all of a sudden you cross-list a bunch of your stuff to Poshmark, you're going to get a bunch of Poshmark sales probably pretty quickly. If you haven't used automation tools, right, you're going to have a bunch of items that you'll turn on the automation tools, and it's going to start delisting and relisting old items on eBay for you, right? And those items are going to start selling for you. And I think you're going to see those results within the first 7 days, as long as you get it set up on day one. Turn on all your automations, get all your stuff, or as much as the stuff that you can cross-listed. I think you're going to see immediate results in those first 7 days, and then you'll get 15% off your first month. But to me, in the first 2 days of every month, Nifty pays for itself. So I have the all bells and whistles plan. It's $69.99. It does automation, it does cross-listing, and it does the AI listing features, all built in for $69.99. That's it, flat price for that. There's other plans that are less expensive if you prefer that, but it usually just in extra profits that I get from cross listing and from the automation tools, like specifically the auto offers tool. I'll get enough profits, not sales, enough profits in the first 2 days of every month. Sometimes it's the first day of the month, but the first 2 days of every month, I've already paid for Nifty with the extra profits. And now I have 28 or 29 days, depending on the month, of free Nifty, essentially, where it's basically like having a VA automating a lot of stuff behind the scenes in the background for you, which is also saving you time. But now it's essentially free for me after the first couple of days. So anyway, give it a try. I dropped the link down below if you want to check it out. It's cross listing, it's automation, it's also AI listing. And you can try all that stuff for free for 7 days. All you got to do is click that link, check it out. And then if you have questions about it, come back in and let me know. Or just be like one of these other people in the chat who's been in the chat already today saying, hey, thank you. I tried Nifty. It's been great for my business. And if that's true, if you drop it down below in the chat, let people know what you think about Nifty. I would appreciate that too. But I pay for Nifty, by the way. A lot of people think like, you're just promoting it because you can and you make money off of it. Sure, you click that link, you sign up and you pay. Yeah, I'm going to get a kickback from Nifty for it. But I use it every single day with my business. I've been using it now for 20 months. And I pay for it. I literally pay $69.99. I don't get it for free. I have used other cross-listing and other automation platforms. I switched to Nifty in April of 2024. Is that right? Yeah. I switched to Nifty from other services. And I'm going to tell you, it is the platform right now. So it's so easy to switch to it if you're using another one. Anyway, the link's in the chat if you're interested in it. If you're on Instagram, if you want to get that free trial link, all you got to do is tap on my name, go to my profile. You'll see the Nifty link right there. You won't miss it. Gonna give it a try, especially for the descriptions. I'm so bad at descriptions. Yes. And I will say, you know what? I will point out the good things about Nifty, which I do a lot, but I'll also point out the challenging things. When you're using AI, anybody who's used AI for anything, whether like personal stuff or work stuff, if you've used AI, you know it's imperfect. It needs to be babysat and things need to be updated. It's especially like it's still pretty new. I think as we move forward, AI is going to get better and better and better. And it already has. Nifty is already getting better with its AI as they kind of continue to tweak it. But it's still AI and it's still imperfect. And I still do make quick little edits to all my item titles and all my descriptions. Sometimes I don't have to change the description at all, actually, but usually the item title I make a couple of tweaks to, but it's still time saved because they've done like a lot of typing for me and included a lot of keywords that I wouldn't already. So I just go in, I edit a couple of quick little things and then like move on to the next thing. So big fan of it. All you got to do is drop in the photos using that AI listing tool and it will write the description. It'll write the item title for you and make a couple of tweaks. It also like checks all those boxes. Like, eBay has like all these different fields. You got to check this, check that, fill in this, fill in that. It does all that stuff for you too, which is a huge time saver. So we've been using Nifty for 2 months. It's a game changer. I'm glad to hear that. I know you and I were talking back and forth about potentially signing up. So I'm glad that's been helpful for you over the last 2 months. That's great. Nifty's a game changer. That seems to be the word, game changer. I mean, that's powerful words right there. Have you ever had to purchase additional credits for using the AI Smart Credits tool? No, and I don't think you have to do that anymore. I think they changed the way they charge for that now. So let me just take a look real quick. I want to look at my my plan. How do I look at that? Go down here, account, subscription. I think they changed that. Okay, no, I get 500 smart credits, and it says I have 273 of them remaining, and my it will renew on the 12th. So that means it started on the 12th. So I'm 14 days in. So I'm about halfway through my month. Like I signed up on the 12th of April, right? So it always renews on the 12th, right? So I've used 227 of my 500 smart credits, 227. And it's been 14 days. So I have more than half of my smart credits left before the end of the month. Now, I think the next plan up gives me more smart credits. I have to look. I forget. Well, let me look at it. So I've never had to buy them. Nifty pricing. Gonna just see if the next plan up, how many that you get. Let's see. If I bump up to the 79 or 89.99. Okay, if I bump up to 89.99, like if I was listing more than I list per month, I'm typically listing, I think, 300 items a month, like 250, 300 in that range. Anyway, if I needed more smart credits, I would just bump up to the 89.99 a month plan, and then I get 1,000 smart credits, which would be a lot. So it just depends on the size of your business, I guess, and how much you're listing every day, or how much you're listing every month. Hope that helps. New follower, your posts are encouraging and educational. I started reselling and sold my first item in less than a week. Yes, let's hear it for. I'm going to try to pronounce your name right. You can correct me. Tenetra. Let's give some positive vibes to Tenetra for getting started and getting the first sale, especially like inside a week selling it. That's really awesome. That's cool that you got your first taste of a sale. So congratulations to Tenetra. We've all had our first sale, and I don't think mine was inside the first week, so that's pretty good. What did I miss back here? True that they change up all the time. Wolfman, did you follow up with me about that 4 inches of ice and where you're at? How the heck did you get that much ice? I feel like I do. What did I miss here? Do you use Nifty from your phone or computer or both? I use my computer. I do all my listing from my computer. I do some cross listing I used to do cross listing from my phone when I didn't use the AI listing tool, but I do everything through the desktop. I've always listed through the desktop. That's my preference, but you can do it on mobile if you prefer. Like I know Surfs does all his listings he does everything from his phone. But I know Wayne lists from his desktop too, but Surfs is like all phone. So you can do it either way. What's up, Carolyn? How are you? Welcome in. Hope you're well. You can purchase additional ones in blocks of 200 for $5. Oh, that's pretty cheap. $5 for an extra 200. So you might not have to upgrade to that next level right there. Been using Nifty for over a year, and without it, I wouldn't have sold 11,000 worth of clothes on Poshmark last year. Isn't that great? 11,000 on just Poshmark. I'm guessing that you were eBay before that, and now you're eBay plus Poshmark. So your secondary platform got you 11K. That's pretty awesome. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. Rhonda, you got I have an automation set up, so if somebody says game changer on one of my posts, it'll send you like a link to Nifty. So I think you just got a link to Nifty automatically from that bot right there. I should probably turn that off. It's like an older video, I think. I don't know why it's still on, but that's why you got a message from me. I use the background remover and I've been listing like crazy. I have had to buy 200 more credits for $5. So I don't know if this is a pro tip, but this is what I do. I only use the background remover tool for my cover photo. I don't use background remover, so I don't use smart credits for all my other photos. I just use that background remover once. And does that take a smart credit still? That I'm not even sure about. I'd have to look. Somebody will have to let me know. Does using I just don't even pay attention to it because I don't run out of them, so I just kind of use them indiscriminately. But does that take a smart credit to use the background remover tool? Because if it does, I would encourage you not to do it for all of your photos. Just do it for your cover photo, right? And then save yourself all those smart credits. That's what I would do. All good. Thank you. You're welcome, Dana. Oh, wow. Honeybee, Honey Queen, I've called you Honeybee twice. Honey Queen, what are you wowing about over there? I might have missed that comment from earlier. All right, let's do some Poshmark sales. How about it? And if y'all have questions about Nifty or want to kind of share some success that you've had with Nifty, or even, I don't know, negative things if you got them, I'm open to that too, but let me know. I'm going to move over to Poshmark and get some of those sales. Good Poshmark weekend. All right. First up is a pair of Judy Blue jeans. Move all our Poshmark stuff over here. Brand new with tags. I actually found these on my Charlotte trip thrifting. Found 3 pairs of brand new with tag Judy Blues. These are capris, skinny fit capris. So this isn't really like a hot thing to be selling in the middle of January. Capris aren't really hot right now. And also skinny fit is not really the best selling jeans right now. So I priced these competitively. I paid $5 for these at the thrift store. And these sold for, this was a nifty best offer, $26. So I had these listed for $29. And Nifty sent a 10% off offer to this buyer, whose name is Marianne. Thank you, Marianne. So sent a 10% off offer to Marianne to get these jeans sold. Pretty cool. It's always fun to find like new with tags at the thrift store, right? And to find 3 Judy Blues. There was one model that was a better model that was more of like a straight leg, like a wider leg fit, but 2 of them were skinny fit capris. I think I might have already sold the other pair of them. But... So these sold in about 2-ish months, I think. All right, let's just look at the numbers. Let's look at the real data. Poshmark, new Judy Blues. Nope, I just listed these 8 days ago. These were probably in a pile of clothes that I didn't get to. So I listed them 8 days ago. Got that quick sale for $26. So Poshmark takes 20% fees. So on $26, they're going to take $5.20. That's going to leave me $20.80. I paid $5, so I made $15.80 on those. All right. I think I shipped those in an eBay bag. I did, and I don't care. I try not to do that, but I'm not going to like rebag it or whatever. Next up is another Poshmark sale. These sold really quick too. 7 for All Mankind jeans. I picked these up in Denver. I think I paid up for these. I think I might have paid $10 for them. And they took 7 days to sell. Sold for $33. This was also a nifty best offer. So $33 on a pair of 7 for Mankind. Slimmy is the model. SLIMMY. Actually looked them up in the store because I'm like, I'm not sure if like a slim fit like that is really going to be a go at $10. But I looked up sold comps and sell-through rate, and it was actually really strong for these. So I grabbed them for 10 and sold them on that nifty best offer, $33. So not bad. Again, Poshmark's going to take 20% fees. That's $6.60 that they're taking. So that's going to leave me with $26.40. And I paid $10, so I'm going to make $16.40 on this. And these are going to Jedediah. Going to El Sobrante, California, wherever that is. What's up, JT? JT is in the house. You have the new flavor sleeveless JT limited edition dark roast in yet? That'd be awesome. I haven't done like a limited edition coffee. I've thought about it. That would be fun. Do like a little collab special edition. I like it. I like the brainstorm there. We'll have to kick some ideas around. I like that one. I use it for the front and back of the item only. Will change to cover photo. Yeah, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I do. Especially if you're running out of smart credits. And I think that was you that commented that you're paying extra for smart credits. I don't think I would pay extra every month just to have some more like of the back shot of like my items, you know. Maybe you can do it so you can do it on like half of them, but just make it so you don't have to like run out every month. Maybe like do half of your back shots. I don't know. Why do I keep saying back shot? It does use a smart credit to remove the background. I used up all 500 of my credits last month just by AI generating the drafts. I got to 500 on my last day. There you go. You're hustling over there going twice flips. I'm not going to underestimate your business. My wife says it does cost a credit. Okay, cool. Yeah, if she says it, I believe it. But if you said it, I'd be like, I'm not sure about that guy. I'm not sure about that guy. It's 1 credit. Gotcha. Hi, you think I should worry about the getting a ding for shipping late because of the storm? USPS and FedEx are closed. Generally speaking, I wouldn't worry about that kind of stuff as long as you're on time most of the time. If you're going to have one late shipment, it's probably not going to mess up your stuff. But also, when these things happen, sometimes eBay will relax some of that stuff. I don't know if they've announced that they're doing that, because this is a pretty big storm, right? It impacted a lot of people. This is the type of storm where sometimes they'll relax that stuff, and it might even have to be a case by case basis. So if you get dinged for it, you might have to reach out to eBay after you get said ding, and then just like ask them for forgiveness on that, and because of the storm and this, that, the other thing. But most of the time, like, that's just sort of built in. Like, if you have one or two of those over, whatever, a 3-month period, that's really not going to mess up your stuff too much. I wouldn't worry about it as long as you're having like consistent sales. That shouldn't matter as long as you're consistently shipping on time. Yes, last year I had 61K in sales on eBay. Not where I want to be, but getting there. Hey, that extra 11 on Posh, that's a big bump. You know what I mean? Like, that's almost 20%. Like 20% above that eBay. It's like, what, 17% or something like that? Like a little 17% bump. It's pretty awesome, right? My guy, JT, having fun in the chat. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you being here. A high energy guy, that JT entertains fella. Post office not coming today. They actually are ignoring the poet's words on the wall in New York. It never was there. Oh yeah, you're saying like whatever, rain, sleet, snow, whatever. Yeah. They told me, my carrier told me on Saturday that she didn't think that they were going to be open on Monday, but the forecast ended up being worse than what the results were. We got really, really lucky here. So, and actually, she's usually here by now, and I haven't seen her go by. Usually she goes by twice before she stops here, and I haven't seen her go by. So she may not be running today. The challenge without here is that even though we didn't get hit hard, they get on the roads at like 8 or 9 in the morning, right? So 8 or 9 this morning, some of those mountain roads on her route might have been bad, or her own driveway. She might not have been able to get out of her own driveway if she lives on like a mountain road kind of thing. So, we are here in the mountains, so there's a lot of that. It's not like rare there for a house to be up in the mountains. It's actually more the norm than it is like the exception from the norm. We live on a mountain road. We just live at the bottom of a mountain road, but all our neighbors are way uphill from us. So, if there's any ice and snow up there or in their driveways, usually driveways on mountain roads tend to be really steep up or really steep down. So that can keep a lot of people from getting to work. And I'm sure they didn't have school today here. I've been considering Nifty. I only sell on eBay currently, but I've been thinking about cross-listing to Poshmark. All of the issues with Poshmark recently, as well as the high fees, have kept me away. Totally appreciate you sharing those things. And I'm maybe going to lower the temperature on a couple of the concerns there for you. So let's talk first about, like, I think when you're referring to the issues with Poshmark, you're referring to the, people getting a temporary suspension from new listings because they delisted too many items from Poshmark. I had that happen once. It was back in April. I sent them an immediate email. I think AI just like responded to the email, because within minutes, my temporary new listing suspension got lifted. So I wouldn't worry too much about that thing, because the consequence of this temporary suspension just means you can't add new listings for like a certain amount of days or something like that. Your items can still sell. The stuff that's up remains up and remains for sale. They just suspend your new listings, and you email them. And my experience was like within minutes, that suspension was lifted. So I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, the consequence for it is so low anyway. And I think they've dialed back their algorithm in terms of enforcing that. It's not as aggressive as it once was, but it's still a thing. But I wouldn't worry about it. It's not putting your account in any kind of threat. They're not going to close your account, or you're not going to lose all your listings. There's no penalties, like financial or otherwise, for it. It's just this little, you can't put up new listings for a few days, and you'll just email them and they'll lift it right away. So I wouldn't worry about that. I don't worry about that at all. That's of like zero concern to me. So hopefully that lowers the temperature on that concern for you. And as far as the high fees on Poshmark, I'm going to break down an eBay sale here for you. Let's look at my Banana Republic, that last sale that I did, the Banana Republic linen blazer. I'm going to break down the fees of this sale on eBay, and I'm going to compare it to what it would be on Poshmark. I would share my screen, but it will show this person's address, which I don't want to do. So let me see if I can finagle this so we can get the address off the screen. Oh, come on. Can I get the address off? Yes. Okay. I just didn't want to I'll share the screen and we'll break this down because I think people overestimate the Poshmark fees and maybe underestimate the eBay fees at the same time. So let's look at how close I think they actually are. So shared screen. This one right here, no address. Okay, we're good. Okay, here is that sale. Banana Republic linen blazer. You can see that for $41.40. This was actually on a nifty best offer. Here's the breakdown of fees. So the buyer paid also $8.95 for shipping. I'm not going to scroll up, but you'll see up. You could see if I scrolled up, but it'll show the address. It says there's also $9.95 shipping on this. So order total is $53.51, including that $2.16 sales tax that eBay collected for the state, right? So then here are my fees. The transaction fee, which is like a 12.5% transaction fee of $6.52 from eBay. I pay. There's the shipping label minus, and then there's the ad fee right there. So $4.33 because I promoted the item. So on this item, it's sold on eBay. I'm paying $10.85 in total fees is what I'm paying on this, because eBay charges those fees on the total sale price. So including the $9.95 shipping and including on the sales tax, they're charging fees on, right? On Poshmark, they don't charge fees on top of the shipping or the sales tax. So if this sold on Poshmark for $41.40, my fees would be $8.28. $8.28 would be my Poshmark fees if this sold on Poshmark for $41.40. But it sold on eBay for $41.40, and my total fees, because I promote, come up to $10.88. So I paid more in fees at the end of the day because of how eBay calculates their fees on top of the shipping and the sales tax, and because I promote on eBay, because I feel like on eBay, if you're not promoting, you're not keeping up with the Joneses, you're not, competing with other people who are promoting. So I do recommend that everybody, if you're selling common clothing on eBay, that you should be promoting on eBay. And I used to say it's optional, but now if you scroll and you look at the search results and you look at all these people who are promoting, and you're going to choose not to, that's fine. You're still going to get sales. But if you got 500 listings or 1,000 listings, you're not going to sell as much every month if you're not promoting, because everybody else is, and their items are getting more clicks and more views than yours, and ultimately they're going to get more sales on those same items. Your competition is going to beat you. So I do recommend that if you're selling common clothing on eBay, that you should be promoting your items. You choose your rate, but anyway. So I paid more in fees on eBay than I did on Poshmark. So I hear this all the time. I actually didn't know that this one was going to be more, but it actually is more. It's over $2 more in fees. It's like $2.60 more in fees because it's sold on a promoted listing on eBay. So the differences are really not that much. Now, let's just say I didn't promote and we subtract this ad fee right here. So I would have paid a total of $6.52, where if it sold for $41.40 on Poshmark, I would have paid $8.28. So the difference is about $1.70. So that's if I didn't promote at all. The difference is only $1.70, because remember, they're charging the transaction fees on top of the shipping price, on top of the total, and the sales tax. So the fees are calculated on $53.51. They're not calculated on $41.40. On Poshmark, it's only calculated on $41.40. So even without promoting, those two rates are actually really close. It's only $1.70 difference between the two. One, I'm going to pay $6.52 in fees. The other, I'm going to pay $8.28 in fees. At the end of the day, I'm not even going to notice that. I am a top rated plus because I do free shipping, and I do 1 day shipping time, and I do free returns for my customers. So that gives me a 10% discount. So I think mine comes out to like 12.3% or something, because I get a 10% discount on the fees for being top rated plus. So, but yeah, when you put it all together, when you promote, which I recommend that everybody promotes, you'll sometimes pay more in fees on eBay than you are on Poshmark. So I texted the mail lady. She was done early today, and we had 10 inches. Yo, that's a lot. I mean, so I don't know if you're even still here, Crystal, but hopefully like those two, I gotta get rid of this shared screen. I don't know why the little peak wasn't in the corner there. Maybe I didn't have my settings set up right. I probably should have had this one on. Yeah, anyway. So I hope that lowered the temperature on those two concerns right there. Even without promoting, it's actually really close, like in what you ultimately pay in fees there. And actually, so if you calculated the fee just based on the sale price, let's do that. So to answer your question, Ronald, to give you a better feel, since eBay is charging the fee on the full purchase price, including shipping and sales tax, if I do $6.52 divided by 53.51. No, that doesn't make sense. Sorry. Let me do it this way. I want to see like my actual, like how it relates to my sale price. So I'm going to divide, let me think this thing through. Yeah, 652. I'm going to divide that by my 41.40 sale price before taxes and before shipping. So then divided by 41.4. So ultimately, even if I wasn't promoting, my fees actually end up being 15.7% of the sale price before shipping and before taxes, right? But they charge on top of all that stuff. So really, I'd be comparing 15.7% fees for eBay as opposed to 20% for Poshmark. That's actually a lot closer. But then if you're going to promote it a few percent, even if you promote at 2%, you'd still be at like 17.7 fees, and that's really close to Poshmark at that point. Now you're talking about pennies, and to me, it's worth. Would I rather save a few pennies, or would I rather have like an extra like 20% or 25% of sales from cross listing to another really good platform like Poshmark? And I'll give you an idea of what we're doing for the month here on Poshmark. Poshmark is 26% of my sales. So it's 50. I have 51 units sold on Poshmark this month for a total of $2,440. Now, would I rather save $1 per unit to have all these items instead sell on eBay and like have to wait longer for them to sell? Or am I going to sell them quicker on Poshmark with 51 extra sales for $2,440? I don't care if it costed me a few dollars in fees there, even if it was like an extra $50 in fees. I got an extra $2,440 in sales thanks to Poshmark just this month, right? An extra 51 units that are out of the garage and off to the customer. To me, that's like, I'll take that trade-off any day, right? Skim a little money off the top to get higher volume. Yes. But again, I promote on eBay. So oftentimes my eBay fees with the promotion fee included end up being higher than the Poshmark fees at 20%. And Poshmark, you get free shipping supplies too. So you got to factor that in too. That counts a little bit. Not a lot of it, but a little bit. Hope that helps. You're welcome, Ronald. Hey, Rob, appreciate that. What did I miss here? Okay, a little soliloquy there. Well, let's get back into the Poshmark sales. Y'all want to see sales, I think. Let's look at some sales. So we got that 7 for Mankind is out the door. Next up, we got a bundle. It's barely a day goes by anymore when I don't have a bundle sale. So we got 2 shirts right here. They're both Tommy Bahama, similar colors. They're both 100% linen long sleeve. I listed this for $50. The buyer sent me an offer of $45 on this, so $5 off. I'll take that off for sure. So that's a 10% off offer right there. So $45 sale, 2 Tommy Bahama linen shirts. I paid $5 a piece for these. So 10 invested, 45 on the sale. Poshmark's going to take 20%. That means they take $9. So that's going to leave me with $36. So I paid 10. So that means I made $26 on this one sale. And these were just listed. I feel like it's like a really fast sale. 29 days to sell on that. So just under a month on those. I thought it might have been a little quicker. Sometimes my memory is off. So yes, I listed these together as a bundle. So 2 shirts as a lot. The buyer didn't bundle these up. I put them together in the listing. And kind of an off-season sale right there too, like a linen shirt. This is going to Averill Park, New York. So that's pretty quick for kind of off season, right? To buy something in December and sell it in January for an item that's really more of a spring summer item. So to me, that's Excuse me. That's a good W right there. Welcome in, everybody. If you're just popping in, we are like well into the live here. We're 1 hour and 59 minutes. So we're 2 hours into the live here. We've shipped out a whole bunch of eBay. We've shipped out some Poshmark. We've shipped out some coffee. But we still got more sales to do. These are all sales from the last 48 hours. I sold 14 items on 12 items on Saturday. And I think we sold 4 today. And we had a couple more come in since we went live too. So I think we're at 6 for the day, maybe. All right, next up is a really healthy weekend after I had one really bad week this month. But it looks like we've gotten over that really bad week. Next up is Good Golf Polo. So this is a YouTube brand, actually. So Good Golf, if you look them up on YouTube, they have over 1 million subscribers. And they just play like a whole bunch of like fun golf game stuff. I think they host tournaments and all kinds of stuff too. It's actually a really big YouTube channel. They get a lot of viewership and they have their own brand. It's called Good. And we can see I guess you can kind of see the logo on the chest right there. It's like a little, I guess it's 2 G's. Oh yeah, it's upside down, sorry. 2 G's right there with a golf club. So Good Golf. Very kind of new up and coming brand. I imagine we're going to see more from them. I think this brand is going to get hot. I think their YouTube channel following is going to grow. It's a tough one to gauge though, because there's not like a lot of brands that are kind of YouTuber brands. I'm going to use my Poshmark bags. So I don't really know what to expect from this brand. There's just not a long track record of YouTuber brands to know, like, is this brand going to continue to rise? Is it going to be a flash in the pan kind of thing? And some of it kind of depends on like how much they increase their distribution and, are they going to put these in a lot of retail stores? Or are they going to do only direct to the customer? Or are they going to open their own stores, like Good stores? I doubt it. Seems like a strange model. I figure they'll probably do most of this e-commerce. Anyway, I picked this up retail clearance, which tells me that they probably are doing retail distribution if it made it to clearance set of ways. So I just don't know how much retail they do. Anyway, this is going to, can I share this with you? I have to share this with you. Can't share addresses, but I can share. Look at that name. Tell me that's not awesome. I see people complain about the eBay fees, but we have a worldwide audience, open 24 hours, handle sales tax. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, you probably know me, I'm not like a big complainer anyway, right? I like to focus on things I can control or things that I can influence. eBay fees, I can do neither of those things. That would be things that are out of my control. So try not to like worry about things like that and devote like mental or emotional energy to things that I can't control. I just don't feel like it's a useful habit to complain about fees. You're not going to change it. You're not going to influence it. You can't control it in any sort of way. So I think to devote energy to that doesn't make sense when there's all these things that you can control and influence. And instead just put all the energy towards those things. I think that tends to just be a lot more helpful. Complaining about something you can't control is like banging your head into a concrete wall. The wall's not going to change, but your freaking head is going to hurt. So to me, it's just not really worth it. And I get a hard head too. Next up is a cool shirt. I don't know how long this one took to sell. It's kind of got like a cool, like almost like a seersucker kind of ruffle to it. It's like seersucker, but not. A very lightweight, cool shirt here. Nice plaid pattern. Let's see how long this took to sell. 23 days. This sold on Poshmark, and it sold for a price. It sold for $28. I think this was a nifty best offer as well. I had this listed for $31.99. And so a buyer, Steven on Poshmark, liked this item, and then 10 minutes later, when Nifty noticed that the buyer didn't pay full price for the item, they sent him a 10% off offer to kind of to entice them, to lure them in to get the sale, and it works. So, and that happens all behind the scenes. I don't have to do anything. It's automated by Nifty, which is beautiful. So that means it happens when I'm sleeping overnight. It happens when I'm on a live stream like this. It happens when we're hiking. It happens when we're watching football yesterday. I don't got to do nothing. I have Nifty to manage those auto offers. Of course, you can send offers to watchers on eBay. You can send offers to likers on Poshmark. But I love the fact that I don't have to do it. It saves me time. And also, I love that Poshmark does it inside of 10 minutes, because I don't want that buyer going and looking for this cool shirt from another Poshmark seller, or looking on eBay, or maybe even just buying it full price online. You're competing with all those people, right? So I like the fact that it sends it within 10 minutes automatically, instead of me having to think about it like 3 or 4 times a day. And somebody might have liked something like 3 hours ago, and then I send them that offer to the liker or offer to the watcher. That person might have already moved on and bought something from somebody else. And especially if that somebody else has that auto, think about this. You always have to be thinking about, who am I competing with? What if they also liked one of your listings, and then they came and they liked one of my listings, and they're like, I'm not sure, I'll make a decision later when I get home from work. But boom, 10 minutes later, I sent them an offer, and you don't get around till 3 hours from now. I'm already got the sale. I'm already packing the item up, and you're sending them an offer, and they're like, I'm good. I already got the shipping confirmation from Peak. So you have to be thinking about, even if you're choosing not to use these tools, you have to understand that other people are. And Nifty isn't the only tool that does automation. There's people that use other automation tools. You have to remember that you're competing with those same people. You're competing with me. So if you choose not to do certain things that I do, that's fine. Just know that I have these things working in my favor for me, and I might be beating you. You might have that same exact cool shirt or a very similar one, and yours might be sitting still in your closet, and mine is now on its way to Steven. And you might just be getting around to sending him that offer to the liker, and he's like, Peak's already got me. Next up is, I didn't grab these. I missed grabbing these Duluth pants out of the garage. I'll have to grab those. So next up is a Huck shirt. Hook, I guess. Hook is how you say it. Huck, whatever. Brand new with tags. Retail price on this is $80. It's like an all over, like, Americana. It's got fish. It's got trucks. It's got beer. It's actually a pretty cool shirt. But brand new with tags. Retail $60, and this sold for $29. I think that's full asking price right there. I don't pick up everything from this brand, but really cool pattern on this one. I bought it on clearance. I actually bought like maybe 4 or 5 of these, and this is the last one to sell. This one took a little while. The other one sold fairly quickly, but this one just kind of sat around. That happens sometimes with the retail arbitrage. It's kind of strange that you can have good luck on half the items, and you can have one that just kind of hangs out, or 2 or whatever. You get it. Strange. It's kind of unpredictable sometimes. Thank you so much for breaking those down. I didn't realize just how close the fees are. Yeah, and you can do it on your own sales too. You can take a look at the fees. The Poshmark ones are easy to know because it's just 20% of the sale price. But go in and look at your order details on eBay. It'll tell you exactly how much you paid in fees on that item. You can do some calculations and kind of look at it. But to me, it's like, get the sales first. Worry about the difference in $1 of fees or something. Worry about that later. Get volume going. Get stuff moving in and out the door. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pay attention to the pennies. In every business, you really got to pay attention to the details. That's where the devil's in the details and the profits in the details. You should be paying attention to that stuff. But to me, volume is king. Volume is king. So next up is an order for Bray. This is a Tory Richard piece. Really, really awesome piece. It's kind of a strange Tory Richard. It's nylon, I think. Is it nylon? Where is it? Yeah, it's nylon. So usually Tory Richard is either going to be cotton lawn or silk. Sometimes they're linen. Never found one like this. It's nylon. But look at the pattern on it. It's like a rising sun, clouds. You can't see the whole pattern, but just a really bold Tory Richard shirt. I just listed this weekend. right? No, it took seven days to sell. I listed it last weekend. 7 days to sell. Tori Richard on this one. Pretty awesome. $29 sale. I think I paid $8 for this at a thrift store. It was a Goodwill down in Florida, the same Goodwill that I found the Hugo Boss jeans that I shipped out earlier. I was with K-Way. K-Way actually found a short sleeve version of this shirt. It was very, very similar pattern, but it was the short sleeve, same size, so probably donated by the same buyer. So he got one, I got the other. I haven't checked in with him. I should see if he sold his. I had a feeling that would be a quick sale. With Tori Richard, the pattern really, really makes a difference. How many listings do you do a day? I'm typically doing about 70 or 80 listings a week. I don't do them day by day, if that makes sense. Have a great day, everybody. Going to plow snow. Be safe out there, brother. Be safe. Thanks for being in here, Frenchie. A lot of snow out there. All right, this is going to Bray. This is actually going to Hawaii. Kind of no surprise there. This is going to Wailai? I don't know how to say that. It's going to Hawaii. And thank you, Bray. Cool sale there. Shipping a Hawaiian shirt to Hawaii. And the name, I think I'm not going to say the last name, but the last name sounds like a Hawaiian name to me. I'm not going to say it. But the first name is Bray. So I'm guessing it's maybe a native Hawaiian family. Got a pair of Jordans. Picked up these a long time ago. Had a few pairs of them. This is the last one to get out the door. Not a great model of Jordan. It's called the Jordan Access. You can say it says Jumpman on the front. He sold for $44 on Poshmark on a best offer. Just a regular, like from the customer best offer. Was it 44? Yep, $44 for these. So gonna box these up. We're gonna use one of these Poshmark USPS Ground Advantage shoe boxes. And these should fit. Sometimes high tops. Yeah, those should fit. Sometimes high tops and boots don't fit in these, but I think these ones will. There are all kinds of ways to ship shoes. I just use a piece of tissue paper. And a box. These are going to Joe. Thank you, Joe. Pair of Jordans coming your way. I just sold a Burton's ski coat to someone in Hawaii. It was a high profit sale. That's nice. I had a Burton. I still have a Burton jacket. I had a Burton women's ski jacket returned to me twice, the same jacket. And now it's like getting late in the season. I still have the darn thing. Yeah. I still have it. It's a nice one too. It's got a faux fur hood. But twice the thing's been returned because it didn't fit. I just want the thing to sell on Poshmark now, because then they can't return it. Do you have some of them stickers out there? But yeah, that's kind of annoying when somebody buys something, returns it, buys something, return it, and now it's like, shoot, all that time like in transport back and forth. And like now it's like, later in the ski season. We're certainly in the ski season, but I kind of want that thing to sell now. Once you get into February, right, it starts getting really late ski season. But that's part of the business, I suppose. What's up? Jack is in the house. Welcome in, buddy. Selling poor people stuff again. Yeah. What's up, man? How are you, man? It's good to have you in here. It's an island. The plane bus to play. I don't know what you're saying. You're on fire today, Jack. Did good in the auction this morning. 250 in a couple hours. Let's go. That's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you're having a good day. Glad you're on fire over there. I'm still here if you need help. I do need help, Travis. I do need help. Let's ship out this coffee order. My mom ordered some coffee. One of my best coffee customers. Mama always supporting me. Thanks, Mom. We got 2 bags of our, this is our winter seasonal, peak season light roast. So this is seasonal for the winter. We have the tasting notes on this are going to be toffee, like toffee with a T, and graham cracker and caramel. Just a really, but again, those are subtle flavors. This isn't flavored coffee. This is fair trade organic coffee. And this is actually single origin from Papua New Guinea. So delicious, delicious. This is one of my favorites as far as the seasonal light roast. I really love this year's winter light roast. So this is going to my mom. We'll have the winter out usually until the middle of March, sometimes early March. We'll switch over to the spring light roast. I don't know what the spring light roast is going to be yet, but this winter one's a good one. I've been enjoying it. And those tasting notes are very, very subtle, right? You're not going to drink this and it's not going to be like graham cracker and toffee. It's just going to be super, super subtle. It's not flavored coffee. But it's just like a nice, light, just a slightly bright light roast. Some light roasts that we have are brighter than this one. This one's a little bit more mellow. I tend to like the more mellow light roast, not like the really bright ones. So that's why I like this one. I like them all, but you know what I mean. I like some better than others. All right, so thank you, Mom. Mom's got some coffee going her way. Oh, I used the wrong side of the box. That was silly. Rookie move. Need this size box. It does make a difference too. You'd be like, why don't you just use the bigger box? It costs more to ship the bigger box. There we go. Thank you, Mom. I'm getting the feeling that my postal person probably ain't coming today. She would definitely be here from now, even if she got a little bit of a later start. So I think I'm going to have to go drop these at the PO after this. Sorry if you answered my coffee question earlier. I had to mute you for a bit. That's all right. Which of your coffee is like a Folger Classic roast? What I would recommend to you if you're digging like the Folgers Classic, I would say check out our medium roast. It's our most, like, when I think of the Folgers, it's going to be like a balanced, smooth cup of coffee. So I would go with this, very balanced. Just a hint of like milk chocolate. Again, it's not flavored coffee. It's just a natural flavor from the beans and the roasting process. So you'll get a little hint of milk chocolate, maybe a little hint of spice too, but it is a very sort of smooth, like mild daily driver. It is delicious. I think you should try this one. The one thing I would do, and this goes to anybody who is switching from something like Folgers, which is mass produced, and it's a blend of all kinds of beans from all over the place. And it's not very fresh. Most Folgers was probably, if you're drinking it now, it probably was roasted maybe in like early 2025, whereas this stuff was roasted last week. So the difference that you're going to have there, not only was it roasted last week, so it's going to be really fresh, so it's going to have more coffee flavor. It's also beans that are, fair trade, organic, single origin from one cooperative of farms in Chiapas, Mexico, the southernmost state of Mexico. So because of the fact that you're getting that single origin, right, one bean, you're just going to have more flavor here. So what I suggest to people, if the first time you brew this, Rob, if you do get yourself a bag, first time you brew it, put a little bit less coffee than you typically would, because there's going to be more coffee flavor per gram or per ounce in this than in what Folgers is, just because, you know, it was roasted so long ago, and because it's just kind of this mishmash of different beans from all over. So a little bit less coffee, like when I say a little bit less, like 10% less, you know, and try that. And then if you're like, well, okay, cool, I need a little bit more or a little bit less, just dial it in, because you'll be drinking it's a very different kind of coffee in that regard in terms of like the quality and the freshness. So if you're going from something like a Folgers, to anybody out there, if you're going from something like a Folgers to something like this, we've had some of our customers will be like, whoa, it kind of blew me away. It's like, yeah, it's because you went from, you know, chock full of nuts or something like that, right? Like, there's going to be more flavor per gram than this, just because this was a lot closer to being a plant in the ground than that coffee that's Folgers. So that's my suggestion there. So if you get yourself a bag, just a little bit less your first time, and then play it from there. All right, I do got to grab one thing out of the garage, and maybe two things out of the garage. I forgot to grab those Duluth pants, so let me grab those. And those are an A5. And then I think I had more orders come in on eBay. So let's see what came in. Got 3 orders on eBay. Okay, so we're going to grab that G48. So that first one is an A5. Okay. We're going to go grab a few orders. This is going to take me about, it's probably going to take me about 90 seconds if I don't fall on the ice. If I fall on the ice, it could be an hour. But I'll be right back. I'm going to grab 4 orders, and we're going to get these things shipped out. 3 eBays and a Poshmark. I'll be right back. All right, going out there without a jacket wasn't among my best ideas of the day, but we survived it. So I guess that's all that's important. It is cold and windy out there, but it looks beautiful. The sun is out, the sky is clear, and like the ground and the trees are like shining because they're all, ice covered. So it's beautiful, but it is deceiving cold out there. So let's get these all. I gotta combine these two. Okay, so I had one buyer come in and buy 2 Duluth trading shirts. So all together, they're going to be paying, let's see, $30 plus $13.90 in shipping. He put an offer in on one, and then he sent me a message, hey, if I do combined shipping, will you, what would that cost and whatever. I said, well, if you buy one shirt, it'll be $6.95 shipping. If you buy 2, it'll be $8.95. I just told him to send me an offer I just told him like exactly what to send me the offer to calculate for the shipping. So altogether, he's paying 30 plus, what did I say, 30 plus 14. He's paying $44 total, including shipping. So if you minus the shipping, if you count the shipping, it's $8.95 shipping, and he paid what, 27 bucks plus $8.95 shipping, 26 bucks, whatever. I paid $10 for these 2 shirts combined. So a nice little bundle. He made the bundle. I listed them separately. If I had found those at the same time, they're both size large, I would have created a bundle out of them, but they were listed at different times, so found at different times. So I also sold this Good golf shirt that was on eBay that just came in. And here's this pair of Duluth Flex Ballroom khaki pants. It's a good seller for me. Any of like the Duluth like Flex, there's all these like different like Flex models. But if it's got Flex in the name and it's a pair of Duluth pants, those have been good pickups for me and good consistent seller. This one sold for, I think this was a nifty best offer. Yep, this was a nifty best offer of $23. I had them listed for $25.99, or Poshmark was 26 bucks. So that was a nifty best offer. Sent the buyer a 10% off. A lot of nifty best offers today, that's for sure. So, and that's pretty typical. It's a big part of our business. But 23 bucks on these. I paid $5 at the thrift store. Poshmark is going to take 20% in fees, so they're going to take $4.60 in fees. So after that, that leaves me with $18.40, and I paid $5, so I'm going to make $13.40 off this. This is going to William. Thank you, William. Oh man, I have so much snake oil for you, Jack. So much snake oil. I love that term, like selling snake oil. Only the best snake oil, brother. It's fair trade organic snake oil. You're out of medium roast? Am I out of medium roast? I shouldn't be out of medium roast. Oh, I'm out of the ground. That's funny. So what I did for my, I always have this stuff in stock. So I just at the beginning, I think I just put in the most stock that I could, like 999 bags. And I finally ran out of ground coffee. So I just got to edit the inventory. That's my bad. Thanks for letting me know. I wouldn't have known otherwise. So change that back to 999. So I won't have to do this for a little while. No, actually, I'm going to change the other ones while I'm in here. It says I have 71 whole beans left, so I'm going to change that to $9.99. We get it roasted fresh every week, so I don't need to like update the stock all the time. But in that one, I had French press had 185, so I'm going to change that to $9.99. Cool, thank you. I fixed that for you. I should probably change all of them while I'm in here. I haven't had to do that before. That's the first time. I mean, that's our best selling coffee, so that's why that one went out first. Let me check out the stock here. Yeah, I gotta do it. Only got 113 left of the light roast, so I gotta change that to $9.99. Thank you, Jack. You just saved my life. Here I am wondering why I'm not selling any ground medium roast. Now I freaking know. I would have never known unless somebody said something to me. So thank you, Jack. I'm gonna go ahead and update the dark roast too. Oh gosh, that's pretty funny. Remember, every business you do business with, every organization, every business is a collection of humans. Humans are flawed individuals. So all an organization is, by definition, is a collection of flawed individuals that are generally working towards the same-ish goals. And so you get goofy mistakes like that. But I think we should be good now. Just got to double check that those are all updated. Yes. Products, medium roast. Yes. Okay, we're all updated. We're good. Do you fill the bundle? Do you find the bundle sell quicker? I always debate bundle or let them buy. Yeah, typically bundles are going to sell quicker because, those Duluth shirts, for example, there's probably 500 of them listed in size large, but there might only be like one or two other sellers that are selling them as a bundle, right? So the idea that the convenience of somebody just being able to pay for shipping once, right, rather than paying shipping twice, and finding it from two different sellers, boom, two there, bundles, same size, similar patterns, gone, done. So it's just math, right? Like there's just not that many listed. But if I listed my one, I'm 1 out of 500. And then if I list the second one, I'm two, I have 2 of them out of 500. But if I'm listing a bundle, there might only be a couple other sellers that have a bundle listed. So it's just the sell-through rate is kind of different if you look at it that way. Refill, I'll scoop it up. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. Let me know if you get the order in. I just got buzzed. Maybe it came in. Mike? Is that you? Is that you? You got so many names. I know you told me like your real name one time. So thank you for Jack. That was huge for you letting me know. I would have never known. I mean, somebody probably would have reached out to me and told me, but I'm glad that it was you. And I have no idea how long maybe that was out. I'd have to look at the last time I sold a bag of ground light roast. That is crazy. Man, what a silly mistake. But hey, it is what it is. Let's go to Pirate Ship. Ship import. Got it. I want that there for my your morning pot. I'm with you, buddy. I appreciate you checking out the coffee. So we got get rates. Get rates. Get you your handwritten thank you card here, brother. And you got a shipping confirmation in your inbox right now. That's going to have your tracking information. Even Amazon don't ship this quick, brother. Even Amazon can't keep up with this. Here you go. Hooper's Creek coming your way, brother. I think you're going to love it. Appreciate you giving it a try. And since we're talking about coffee, I'm going to drop the link to my website for coffee. If you want to check it out yourself, kind of read about our different coffees. If you have questions about coffees, let me know. I'm here to talk about coffee all day. I've already had my 2 for the day, so I can't have another one. I wish I could just keep drinking coffee. When I was younger, I was in the restaurant business. I would just drink coffee all day, hot coffee, black. And I would drink it all day, all night. Didn't matter. Back then I'm working 12, sometimes 14-hour shifts. You just like run on coffee, but I cannot have more than 2 cups anymore. I just can't do it. But today I had 2 cups of our medium roast in the, we did it cold brew, which is like my favorite thing to do. Kim had some hot coffee there today. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Faster than Bezos over here. All right, let's get some shipping labels for some eBay stuff. I got to weigh these items up first. All right, so this order is for John. John's got the 2 Duluth tradings. 1 pound, 15 ounces, and you can see they're both Duluth trading. This is the wrinkle fighter. Not a great model particularly. Like, this is a low sell-through rate kind of item. I wouldn't suggest like picking up a lot of these unless you get them for really cheap, or you're doing like all the things I do with like really good photos, really good keywords. You're cross-listing, you have automation tools, you have all these things on your side, because this is a very competitive marketplace. So to be able to sell these for around $20-ish, it is a low sell-through rate item for that. So just know that. That is a very borderline item, but I picked them up because I have all those things working in my favor. So that one's going to come in at 2 pound rate. And then we sold another one of these good golf shirts. Actually, it's the same size and the same model as the other one we sold. Men's size 2 extra large on this. Literally shipped one of these out earlier in this live. This one sold for full asking price. Did it? Full asking price, $34.99 on this. What did I say that was? 12 ounce rate on that one. I'll get these shipping labels printed out. I got French press and Xmas bingo. I want to try that soon. I love the French press, man. I love the French press. I think that's what Kim made. Did you make a press today? Yeah. Kim made a French press today. But by the time she made that, I already had my 2 iced coffees for the day. So let's print these labels out, and that'll be that. You still got time if you want to if somebody wants to get a coffee order in too. I want to ship these out, but I would act fast if you want me to ship it out during the live. Of course, I can ship it out anytime after the live. All right, so our 2 Duluths are going to John. John is in Palatine, Illinois. That is a town I've never heard of before. Go make him a thank you card. Thank you, John. A couple of Duluths. One of these shirts I had in inventory for a while, so I had priced it down. I typically list these for $21.99 and accept offers on them, but one of them I had marked under 20 because it was it has sat for a little while. So it's nice. I got a buyer that he scooped up the more expensive one first, and then combined that second one. Sent me a message to get the second one too. So that worked out really nicely. Get an old one out of inventory and get a new one out of inventory. So thank you, John. And then this one is going for Mark on that good shirt. That's fun. That one's going to Illinois. This one's going to Indiana. So we had a good mix of sales today. A lot of pants and jeans. Got a couple of sweaters in there, but also some short sleeve stuff, some linen shirts, like more spring, summer stuff. A couple of linen shirts. We had that Tory Richard nylon shirt, like definitely like a summer vibe on that one. Of course, it was going to Hawaii. And we got some golf polos mixed in here. So I like it. This is the time of year where we start seeing a slow and gradual shift towards the spring and summer stuff. But this is one of those seasons where we basically sell everything. So February is very slow for me. Not really much of anything sells in February. But when you get to March, that's when the shift really turns on, and you get a ton of like spring and summer sales coming in, and still a little bit of the winter stuff, but it tails off. But things like jeans still sell pretty well in March because that's like a 3-season kind of item, not so much like a winter item. Heavy jackets will definitely slow down by March for sure. But you can still sell like lightweight sweaters, long sleeve shirts, things that are more three season will still sell all the way through April too. And then by the time you're like midway through April, jeans tend to start slowing down for me. Long sleeve shirts tend to start slowing down. So even the 3-season things slow down. And then you have a couple of months where it's basically spring and summer heavy. And then of course that switches back the other way. Once you get about middle of August, maybe September 1st, you start seeing all the long sleeves and jeans, and eventually the jackets and stuff start selling again. So the pendulum swings just both ways. that's all we got for you today. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Maybe you learned something. I hope you did. I hope you had a good time. Maybe cracked half a smile. If you're buried in snow or ice out there, I hope you stay warm, stay safe. Hope if you're missing, if you don't have power or internet right now, hopefully you get those things back soon and get back to the normal conveniences of life. We are really grateful that we avoided the worst of this storm. It was looking bad, and then it just warmed up a couple degrees yesterday, just enough to change it from freezing rain back to regular rain, and that basically saved us from. I thought we were headed to a total catastrophe last night into this morning, but man, we got lucky, and I am grateful for it. The sun is shining. It's cold as all get out, but it's windy as all get out too. But it's a lot better than having what I thought we were going to have, which was 1.5 inches of ice and a whole lot of trees down on the ground. So we are grateful. Sorry for anyone out there who's dealing with a lot more inconveniences than we have. We thought we were getting it too, but sending all my best to everybody out there. Hope you have a great week of finds and sales and all that stuff. And we'll catch you next week. I'll be back on the regular schedule. We'll catch you next week around, I don't know, Monday around 11 a.m.-ish Eastern time. We'll ship out some orders from the weekend. We'll talk reselling as we always do. Have an awesome